Around the country and the world, we give you the coverage you can trust.
While you're comfortable inside your home or business, it's a toll on your roof. Wind, rain, hail, UV rays, and the heat of the sun cause premature failure of your shingles. Everyone loves to save money. If you have an aging roof, don't spend a lot of money on replacement. Get a Roof Max shingle treatment and get some peace of mind. Get more life for less money. Guaranteed with Roof Max, a powerful fusion of science and nature. Call Ben today at 859
While we've been staying safe at home, scientists have been on a journey. The destination, a COVID-19 vaccine. This journey began decades ago with research into other coronaviruses. Scientists built from there with months of research and development, cooperation with other experts worldwide, and clinical trials on tens of thousands of volunteers of diverse race, age, and health status. They arrived at a safe, effective vaccine, and millions in Michigan have already been vaccinated. But the next step is ours. We need to get the first vaccine available, masks correctly, and taking precautions until we reach our destination, freedom from COVID-19, and getting back to the lives we love. Discover the facts for yourself at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. Wish that you would take an action. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News. It's 43 degrees at 9:05. Good morning. Off-the-record communication between Saginaw City Council members during virtual meetings was a topic of debate during this week's session, but some say the question is unwarranted and invasive. In an 8-1 vote, Council agreed to revisit the matter at an undetermined later date, but the final issue on their Monday consent agenda covered an amendment to the Council Rule of Order prohibiting electronic device usage during virtual meetings in order to stay within the parameters of Michigan's Open Meetings Act. Councilman Michael Flores, a single no vote on both debate on discussion, says if council is recently willing to change its rules about appearing on camera during virtual sessions, this change should be made in an act of transparency.
In the interest of transparency, I would suggest that we allow this the same way that we allowed to add that our cameras be on when we're in session. Because the majority of us are allowed to be at home during these meetings, the idea that emergency would arise while you're at home and you would have to use your cell phone is slim to none.
Councilman Annie Bench brought up during her rebuttal that her use of a device during meetings has allowed her to remain in session instead of leaving to tend to various interruptions, while Councilman Reggie Williams and Bill Ostosh say they have never once been contacted by other members trying to sway their opinion on topics, and that anyone watching the meetings would see that. A former police officer is facing attempted murder charges in Aranac County after being found competent to stand trial. 67-year-old Roger Broadstone is accused of trying to murder state police troopers who Twining area home on January 20th. Broadstone was visited by troopers earlier in the day who asked him about a fraud complaint in Ogemaw County. Broadstone refused to let the troopers into the house. When police returned with a warrant, they discovered him trying to escape and arrested him, though they say Broadstone resisted. Police say they also discovered Broadstone had rigged his house to explode with leaking propane at a trigger mechanism. His attorney says he has maintained his innocence on all charges. The Bay County Health Department has announced it's changing current COVID-19 quarantine timelines to 10 days, effective immediately. WSGW's Ann Williams explains in this report.
The Bay County Health Department says they're doing so to help with compliance and for consistency with most other Michigan counties, which have recently made the change. It's also retroactive, meaning those currently ordered under a 14-day quarantine may cut their time to 10 days, provided they're asymptomatic and not a household contact. Contacts are subject to quarantine for the time period of the exposure, plus 10 days for subsequent quarantine. The Bay County Health Department says with the high transmission rate of COVID-19 variants, vaccination is more important than ever. They've modified vaccination clinic schedules to include evening clinics at the health department on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. The Delta College drive-through clinic will also be open today from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And there's a vaccine clinic at the Bay County Community Center this coming Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon. You can find a list of vaccine clinics in Bay County this month by visiting the Health Department website. Ann Williams, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
Saginaw County and other counties across Michigan are also announcing changing their current COVID-19 quarantine timeline down to 10 days effective immediately. WSGW News Time 9:08.
Hey, this is the WSGW's Morning Team Show's Pat. What I love about betting on basketball is I'm always finding new player props or game props that I like. And what's cool about FanDuel Sportsbook is you can combine those props with other bets from the same game to score an even bigger payout. It's called a same game parlay bet, and you can only find them on FanDuel. Whether you are new or use FanDuel Sportsbook every day, check out NBA same game parlays daily. Same game parlays are just one reason why I use FanDuel Sportsbook, America's #1 sportsbook. And if you haven't tried FanDuel Sportsbook yet, new users get a risk-free bet of up to $1,000. Just place a bet and FanDuel will refund you up to $1,000 back in site credit if you don't win. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app today and use promo code WSGW. That's promo code WSGW. Must be 21 and present in Michigan. First online real money wager only for a risk-free bet. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Restrictions apply. See sportsbook.fan. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
New numbers show the impact of the computer chip shortage getting worse. Jeff Gilbert reports.
In the past week, 285,000 vehicles were taken out of production. Those numbers from Auto Forecast Solutions reported by Automotive News. Ford alone lost 71,000, Stellantis 55,000. Car makers have warned us the second quarter would be the worst, and we'll see those disruptions for many more months. Total number of vehicles that were expected to be made that haven't been made, a little over 2.5 million.
The American Red Cross is looking for donors in hopes of avoiding a summer slump. Todd Kuhlman, Regional Communications Manager for Red Cross Michigan, says the summertime is a challenging time, even in a non-COVID world.
We're starting to see more people schedule their vaccination appointments. They're getting up to return to some of their favorite summer activities. So the American Red Cross right now is encouraging eligible donors to give blood or platelets and help make it a summer full of life for those patients who are in need.
Those who donate by the end of the month will be entered for a chance to win a travel trailer camper from Suburban Propane. Anyone who gives now through the 15th will also receive a $5 Amazon gift card. When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 7520790. It's 9:10. I'm Dave Maurer.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Increasing clouds today, with areas of rain possible this afternoon, which high 54. Tonight, lingering clouds early with a chance of showers, then gradual clearing. Areas of frost possible as we do. High 63 on Wednesday. Lots of sunshine. Wednesday night, mainly clear, low near 37. High 68 on Thursday. Lots of sun. Thursday night, clear to partly cloudy, low near 42. High 69 on Friday. Lots of sun. Friday night, low 43. I'm meteorologist Laura Lockwood with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, 42.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
Well, good morning to you and welcome. Welcome to another edition of the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Nice to have you with us on a Tuesday morning. And later on, open phones during the 10 o'clock hour at 11, we'll talk about a Consumers Foundation grant. But for this hour, we're going to spend some time talking about a facility in Bay City, part of the rescue ministries of Mid-Michigan, has to do with youth. And with us this morning is the head honcho, the big guru, the big kuhana of the rescue ministries of Mid-Michigan. And I forgot his name. No, Dan Streeter is with us this morning. Hey, Dan, we haven't talked in so long. How are you?
Very good. How about you?
I am doing well. And you have a guest with you, don't you?
I do. Another big kahuna that is joining us in the fight against teen homelessness, and that's Mary Ellen Johnson, and she's the CEO of Youth Protection in Saginaw.
Very, very good. Mary Ellen, welcome to the program.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
All right, let's. I think we need to go back a ways, Dan, and we're going to talk about this new youth shelter at Good Samaritan. But I think we need to go back a ways and talk about how this all came about and why it came about.
Yeah. So, Art, several years ago, about 2015, there had been a service provider in Bay County called Corey Place, and they went out of business. And unfortunately, when they did, then that created a gap in Bay County provider.
Let me ask you a quick question, just because it popped into my head. Were they a private company or were they a nonprofit?
They were a nonprofit.
They were a nonprofit. When you say they go out of business, it always conjures up commercial images. So
exactly.
All right. Yep.
And so, yeah, they went out of business, and that created a huge gap in the community, and there wasn't anybody really ready and able to fill that gap. And it took us a couple years to be able to come to the place where organizationally that we could start to tackle youth homelessness. And so in 2018, our board of directors made it a passion of the organization, our strategic planning, that we start pursuing helping young adults in Bay County. And so that set us on the track to raising the funds and to putting the plans together and to start go through the licensing for opening the Samaritan Youth Shelter. And that was about a 2-year process from start to finish to be able to get all of those steps accomplished. But the great thing is that this past February is that we were able to open the doors and start helping young adults licensed with the state of Michigan for 10 beds. So 5 for young men, 5 for young ladies. And it's just been amazing to see as we've been able to help young people who have been established in homelessness.
Let me ask you a procedural question then, Dan. Prior to that time, if a homeless 16-year-old showed up at your doors, could you not service them?
We would not be able to service them. Legally, we were not able to. And so it was just one of those anomalies that we had. And so now that comes into play. One of the partnerships that we've had for a lot of years is Youth Protective Services and Interlink here in Saginaw. So I've known Mary Ellen for many years. And so one of the things that we would try to do is then get that 16-year-old who would show up to get them to agree to come down to Saginaw. So at least that way they're not out on the street homeless.
Yeah. So Mary Ellen, tell us about your organization, Youth Protective Services.
Our organization has 3 key fields of service, and a big one is sheltering runaway and homeless youth. We have an emergency shelter that's 15 beds, and those are kids 12 to 17. And we have 2 specialized longer-term housing programs. Those are called transitional housing, one for young parents and their kids and one for single youth. And we also have a rental assistance kids 18 to 25, where we can assist them with case management and life skills and help cover their rent.
Is it a governmental organization, or are you independent of government?
We're a private nonprofit.
Well, you are a private nonprofit.
Yes.
Totally. So in effect, Dan, I mean, you're mirroring in Bay County what they're doing in Saginaw. Is that fair to say?
Well, it's extremely fair to say, because as we were walking through this process of licensing and then also looking at opening a youth shelter, well, we went to our neighbors here in Saginaw and said, learn from them and to make sure that we understood take to be able to open a shelter. And so we mirrored a lot of their programming, and Mary Ellen and her staff were very giving in the fact of helping us technically as we were going through every step.
Just so just to clarify, that 16-year-old coming to your door, if that 16-year-old had showed up with a parent, you could service both the parent and youngster. Is that right?
Correct, as long as the parent was staying. So if the family was homeless, then there would be no problem with being able to help them, and we'd put them both in a room together.
That's the legal responsibility issue then?
Correct, yeah. Because they weren't of legal age to make their own decision. That's why we would have to either try to get them referred to Mary Ellen's program at Interlink before, or Child Protective Services. We wouldn't be able to house them.
So, and Mary Ellen, let's understand, you've been doing this longer than Dan, so let me ask you this.
A lot longer.
A lot. She's not as old as you are, Dan. No, never mind. Anyway, when a youngster comes to you unattached, that 16-year-old shows up at your door, you now take that youngster in. What is the legal standing of that youngster as it relates to you? Do you become I don't want to say foster parent because that's a legal term in itself. How does the law look at you as in relation to that minor?
Well, we are a child placing agency and a child caring institution, and those are two specialized licenses through the state of Michigan. So we never really assume guardianship of minors.
Wow.
We have 48 hours to get the parent's signature. If the parents choose to not be involved in the child's life, which happens often, then we work with Children's Protective Services to grant us the authority to keep the
Right. Time
in a
out.
safe place for them.
Time out. Did I just hear you say parents don't accept responsibility for their youngsters?
Yeah, we have a young guy who came in last year at 17. They dropped him off in August.
The parents dropped them off.
The guardian did.
Guardian did.
Yeah, and they've not been back to check on them.
Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah, he's a very lost young man. But
Well, I got news for you. The guardian or parents are just as lost, maybe more so.
Yeah. And he has not shelter. So he's not a child with a lot of aggression issues, who's extremely non-compliant. He's just a real quiet guy, keeps to himself, certainly has experienced a great deal of trauma. But that's what the world looks like for these vulnerable kids out on the street.
That's scary. All right, we'll talk more about this. We're going to take a break. We were talking to Dan Streeter from the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan and their new Good Samaritan Youth Shelter, and Mary Ellen Johnson from the Saginaw area with the same type of facility. More ahead on this edition of the Art Lewis Show after these notes.
Drive green with Bader & Sons Company all year long and enjoy the ride. Run with us from now until June 1st and get an even better deal on 1 to 5 Series John Deere tractors with John Deere Rewards. Productivity and versatility are how we run. That's why the 1 through 5 Series John Deere tractors and attachments are engineered to help you till, mulch, haul, seed, sweep, plow, load, and of course, mow. Stop in today or buy online at greentractors.com.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Is your credit card debt piling up? Pacific Debt can the nation's friendliest debt settlement company. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and thousands of 5-star reviews on sites like Trustpilot and Best Company, they can settle your debt for a fraction of what you owe. In fact, they've settled over $300 million, helping people just like you. Get a monthly program payment you can afford and 0 upfront fees. Get free information now. 800-281-9981. 800-281-9981.
I'm Elizabeth McDonald, and this is the Fox Business Report. Victoria's Secret and Bath & Body Works are about to be separate companies. Both have been part of L Brands, which is spinning off Victoria's Secret. You'll be seeing new McCafe cups at McDonald's that will direct you to vaccines.gov. McDonald's is partnering with the Biden administration's COVID-19 vaccine effort. McDelivery seal stickers will also direct you to the site, and McDonald's will launch We Can Do This campaign ads on Times Square billboards in New York City. Even this year, even though the global chip shortage is holding back its recovery. Nissan saw a record operating loss in 2020, and it was forced to cut production by 130,000 vehicles. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Coselda, invested in you.
Summer's right around the corner, and the coolest new shirts just arrived at Untucked. That wick sweat, short sleeve styles to beat the heat, and our comfortable polos. Untucked shirts are designed to be worn untucked, so they're just the thing to look and feel cool in the summer heat. And Untucked shirts are perfect as we transition back to the things we've been missing, like dinner with friends, reuniting with family, and vacations too. When the heat is on, the number one shirt to keep you cool is Untucked. Use code SUMMER for 20% off your first purchase at untuckit.com.
Northeastern Paint Supply invites you to listen to the WSGW Focus Show with Art Lewis, weekday mornings from 11 to your local business and community leaders. Sponsored by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City.
Liberty Mutual Insurance Company presents
And Doug.
And we're back with Limu, Emu, and Doug for the final question. Category is things you climb.
All right, Limu, what do you think? You sure? We're going with Liberty Mutual customizes your car for what you need.
Oh, so close. We were looking for stairs.
Huh. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Panera favorites are hot and ready to serve for dinner. Taste our creamy mac and cheese served in a crispy bread bowl. Or the classic bacon turkey Bravo featuring our signature sauce. How about our new mouth-watering Chipotle chicken and bacon flatbread pizza? These and other favorites are waiting for you. Order dinner tonight for delivery or pickup. Availability and pricing may vary.
WSGW is your station for the Tigers. Ramos.
Swinging the ground ball. Base hit into left past the diving Bogarts. Grossman into score, and the Tigers retake the lead in the 8th inning, 9-8. Wilson Ramos delivers with 2 out.
Tigers Baseball, brought to you in part by
Michigan's John Deere dealer.
Lingle Equipment Company.
Ed Raymond and Sons in downtown Chesaning.
Your home for Detroit Tigers baseball is WSGW.
Back with you on the Art Lewis Show for this Tuesday morning, talking to Dan Streeter from the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan and the Good Samaritan Youth Shelter. Mary Ellen Johnson from Youth Protective in Saginaw with their shelter. So Dan, let's talk about the shelter. It took you a couple of years to get it off the ground. Is it located in Good Samaritan? Is it just a section of Good Samaritan?
Correct. So we renovated a little over 2,000 square feet right near our front entrance. So that way there's a very safe and secure way for the kids to be able to come in when they're first seeking help, and then making sure that we're isolating them from the rest of the population there. So then that way they're protected during that time that they're with us.
I have to ask, when you opened the doors, did you have guests?
Immediately we did not, which was probably good. We needed a little bit more time for staff training. We were rushing to try to get the doors open because it'd been so long. And but definitely from the second that we opened the doors, the first person that we served, even as Mary Ellen was telling about the story of the 17-year-old, it was just amazing affirmation when we started to hear about what was going on in these kids' lives and what they were experiencing. And it's just been so overwhelming to hear those stories, but then it's also been so affirming to know that we're doing a very necessary work. when we start to think about kids who are struggling and are at risk of being preyed upon. There's just so many gateways between drug abuse, between prostitution, so many ways that these kids could be abused and their lives damaged even further if we don't help turn the tide.
So, Mary Ellen, you've had a lot of youngsters come through your door over the years. Is there a common theme among them?
The common theme is really simple. They lack a caring, supportive adult in their life.
I was going to say a lack of love, huh? It's just such a sad commentary. I mean, we don't think about it. I guess we as parents who brought our youngsters up to go out into the world and do right and all of that stuff, it's hard to fathom that a parent would be that unloving of their own child. I can't picture it.
Well, so part of it is that you have parents who are struggling with mental illness, sometimes themselves, or a substance abuse issue, so they can barely even take care of themselves, let alone this young person that they have in their lives, or many kids that they maybe have in their lives. So that's one part. There's also incarceration a lot of times that is playing into this. They're about 30% of the kids who come through have one or both parents that are experiencing incarceration. So and then the poverty also has a huge factor in this as well. Kid gets to be 17 years old and mom or dad says, well, I've done my job. Now you go take care of yourself. So there's a myriad of reasons why these kids find themselves in very difficult situations. Yeah, I think one of the most sobering stats for me that I saw as we were starting to come into this was that the average age that a kid experiences homelessness unaccompanied is 15 years old. And you think about that, 15 years old, how to know where to go and what to do and how to make right choices at 15 years old. I mean, when you were 15, that was a few years ago. I mean, what was the hardest decision you had to make? Which pizza joint was I going to go to, right?
No, how to stay out of trouble. And that's the difference, though. I mean, you bring something up. When I was 15 years old, I came from a family with two loving parents. I never had those concerns. Never, ever had those concerns. And that is a difference when two parents or even one loving parent. I mean, that's really all it takes, isn't it?
It is. Definitely it is.
So Mary Ellen, what's the procedure? You get a youngster into your facility, and let's use that 15 or 16-year-old, whatever age. What happens next, and how long can you care for that youngster?
What happens next is they come to the door, and we make sure they have clean, dry clothes. A lot of times they'll show up in the winter with no shoes or socks, no coat. So we want to get them clean, dry clothes, and then we want to get them something to eat, and then we want them to rest. And then the necessary steps to do the intake, the assessment, determine who the guardian is, the legal authority to house them. All that follows the basic issue of lay down and sleep for a bit.
I mean, you determine who the legal guardian is. They're not guarding very much. How do you strip them of that guardianship? I mean, that's got to be something the courts do, right?
We would work with Children's Protective Services, and they would then handle those types of incidences for the families that don't want the kids back. So fortunately from us, we get to focus on supporting the kids. Children's Protective Services and the courts, they do the legal end of it. And we can have the kids can stay for 21 days.
Okay.
Exceptions. Sometimes it is very complicated trying to find a safe place for them to go next. So we can get exceptions and keep them a little bit longer.
So Dan, what's going to happen in Bay City when you have a youngster who's, I hate to use this term, but it's so true. They discard the youngster. I cannot believe somebody does that. What happens in Bay City? What do you do with that youngster, and who do you go to?
Exact same process is what Mary Ellen does. And so we're just getting them in, helping to get them that immediate shelter and out of whatever harm that they may be in or potential, and just trying to assess then what's the next steps, and helping to get them the medical needs, the sheltering, just building one piece at a time and trying to help restore those lives. And the difficult thing is that we have, by licensing, only about 21 days. Sometimes we can get an extension on that, but it starts at 21 days and trying to help piece all these things together, which is part of the reason why Mary Ellen also has more extended programs and why we're looking at trying to also do more in Bay County. And when we started into the youth work, we knew that this was just going to be the entry portal, continue to work even harder.
So, Mary Ellen, what happens after 21 days if you've not successfully placed the youngster?
Well, for youth that are 17, we can take them in our longer term shelter programs. For kids who are under 17, if we either CPS will find a foster home, or we look to find suitable housing. But that's where you need to do just a whole lot of follow-up and aftercare, remain connected with the child. We can call them, we can make home visits, still providing they need to still have that safe connection, because their lives are very complicated, and their parent and guardian's lives are very complicated. You can't fix all that in 21 days. That doesn't happen.
No, that's for sure. Mm-hmm. Well, if you place that youngster after 21 days into some kind of a housing, are you barred from, for example, feeding them?
No, and the kids can come back. And
that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah, and that's why that aftercare follow-up is so important. The kids can return when their current living situation again becomes unsafe or unstable for them.
All right, hang on. We're going to take a break, and then we will be back with more. We're talking to Dan Streeter and Mary Ellen Johnson about youth services in the Great Lakes Bay region. More ahead. When you choose Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan for your Medicare coverage, it's easy to get the care tests or treatments you need whenever you need them. When you need access to care, Blue Cross provides you with more options that work for every lifestyle. Schedule appointments for checkups or routine care at a time that's convenient for you. If you'd like to stay close to home, give the Blue Cross 24/7 nurse line a call or schedule a virtual doctor visit. Whenever you need assistance, Blue Cross will connect you with the information and the help you need. With the Blue Cross Medicare plan, you'll never have to go without your medication. Their easy-to-use prescription drug plans allow you to refill and pick up your medications from your local pharmacy or have them delivered by mail. Get access to the care you need as soon as you need it with Blue Cross, the company more than 500,000 people in Michigan trust for their Medicare coverage. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Michigan, confidence comes with every card. See what other members are saying at bcbsm.com/seniorcare. And we will be back after these notes.
Think about it. We could be at the beach.
Or we could be cozier.
Poolside, drinks in hand.
Or we could, well, we won't get to, so.
Well, that does mean we do have some money to spend. You want to upgrade our countertops?
And not have any neat vacation pictures to post for everyone?
Are you kidding? With the granite and quartz countertops I'm picturing from Stone Specialists, we're going to want to show it off.
A picture is worth 1,000 words.
Ah, but a stone countertop? That's forever.
I like the way you think.
Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. From imagination to installation, they'll guide you through every step of the process. Upgrade and increase the beauty and value of your home with Stone Specialists. Now available by appointment to serve in Burton and Midland at stonespecialists.net or follow us on Facebook. Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. Stone Specialists. Bring the romance of natural stone to your home.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along, which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job in ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
In this meandering, dull, boring, ridiculously boring speech, full of a socialist wish list. I mean, this speech was what I would expect from President Acosta.
The Sean Hannity Show.
He's adopted Bernie Sanders' agenda completely. That was what the Bernie Biden manifesto was all about.
Weekdays at 3.
I never thought in my lifetime we'd have such a radical list of radical socialist ideas in this country.
On 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
It's Car Collection from WSGW and Sarah Chevrolet Toyota of Saginaw. You are invited to upload your picture of your classic car. Listeners are invited to view the pictures and then vote for Best of Show. This all happens online at WSGW.com. Scroll down the homepage and look for the Classic Car Collection box for Toyota of Saginaw. Enjoy classic cars wherever you are. Online at WSGW.com.
You're in the Stone Specialist Studios. This is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And welcome back. The Art Lewis Show, sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial real estate needs, call Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty, 989-295-3900. Talking to Dan Streeter and Mary Ellen Johnson about how we take care of youngsters in our region at their facilities. Good Samaritan now has a youth shelter, and Mary Ellen Johnson has them in Saginaw. So, Dan, the facility opens. Do the youth mingle with the rest of the residents at Good Samaritan, or are they totally separate?
So we have them in separate living accommodations, and we have separate programming going on for them and a separate staff that's responsible for their oversight. So we have a ratio of 1 to 5 based on the number of kids that are in there. And we have them eating in the same dining room as our women, but there's just too many potential crossover issues for us to be having them socializing. So we do just singular social activities with the kids that are there within the youth shelter.
And Mary Ellen, I heard you say something about families earlier. Do you also house families, or do you send them over to the rescue ministries?
We would work through the various shelters in our continuum of care, but City Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan is the largest provider, so certainly they're going to be one of the very first calls for help.
On average, how full are you?
So one of the interesting dynamics right now with the pandemic is that there has not been as many kids coming seeking services as what there has been in the past, and a lot of it is because the kids aren't in school and there aren't other service providers, teachers, homeless liaisons who are able to see that these kids are vulnerable and in need and to be able to counsel them to go and get help. So the pandemic driving everybody into their households really are driving these kids into even more turmoil and even bigger consequences. So that's part of the reason what motivated us to brainstorm together as to this joint venture to have a very easy and readily accessible resource so that any kid or any adult who knows of a kid who is potentially at risk, how they can be able to get 24 hours assistance. So we're launching jointly a hotline to start out with, 866-TEEN-911, and you can call that number, and it's going to be staffed 24 hours a day, and you can be able to get the answers or the referral that you need and to be able to get pointed in the right direction so you don't have to continue as a young person to stay in that vulnerable spot. And then we're also launching a website to go along with that teen911.org. And so you can go straight to that website, see both of our programs that are going on. And so anybody in the Great Lakes Bay region doesn't have to go without information or referral, know how to get help, and to be able to get it quickly.
Are either of you restricted by geography? In other words, can you only serve Bay County? And Mary Ellen, can you only serve Saginaw? Or is it unrestricted that way?
We are restricted by geography, and that is another one of the driving reasons for this collaborative effort. Kids shouldn't have to worry about what's my county of origin when they want to find a safe bed at night. So it's this collaborative approach. We're covering a very large area with working together with Dan and get kids off the street.
Well, Dan,
and that's one of our so because we're individually funded right now, then it's just anybody who shows up on our doorstep, we can help. And so that's another piece of the puzzle why we're working together collaboratively, is because now that it just helps broaden the safety net.
What happened in Bay County before you came along with the shelter? Where did these youngsters go?
So there was a place called Corey Place that we had referenced, and they closed in 2015.
Okay.
But then for that period of time, we would help make the referrals to Interlink, and we would, if necessary, drive the kids down there to be able to help get them placed somewhere.
I've heard the name. What is Interlink?
Interlink is our emergency shelter for youth 12 to 17.
So that's the name of the shelter then.
It is. You're right. Yes.
And you can handle, you said what, 15?
Yes, we have 15 emergency shelter beds.
Are you restricted by license or simply space?
License. We're licensed for 15 beds.
And Dan, you're licensed for 10?
So that's one thing. We're licensed for 10. That's one of the things that also makes it so in the adult emergency shelter or family population, if we need to throw down another mattress on the floor, we can do so. So that way, anybody who shows up on the door can get served immediately. Because of licensing, once we hit those maximum with the youth, then we have to find another place for them because she can only have 15 at Interlink and we can only have 10 at Good Samaritan. One of the interesting dynamics is to see also as well nationally that there's, about 1 in 30 kids experience homelessness on their own across the country. And in the state of Michigan, in 2019, that's where the stats are last go back to, was that there was over 740 here in Michigan that experienced homelessness. But that number is really way low. When you take a look at 18 to 24-year-olds, that number jumps up to over 3,800. And so one of the big reasons that we know that kids are going underserved, first of all, you see that jump, and then there's not enough service providers. And so you add not enough service providers and you add a foster care system that's lacking quality placement and not enough homes. And it's just a recipe for disaster for these young kids in their formative lives.
All right, we're going to take a break. Come back. We're going to talk about how we pay for all of this with Dan Streeter and Mary Ellen Johnson. More ahead on the Art Lewis Show. If you're in the market for a newer car, I have some good news for you. And you've probably been hearing the stories about car dealers. Lots are pretty thin with new vehicles, but they do, particularly in the case of the Thalen Auto Group in Bay City, have lots of pre-owned nice vehicles. And you can start and end your search at Thalen for your next car, truck, or SUV by looking over one of the largest inventories of previously owned vehicles in the Great Lakes Bay region. Thalen has literally hundreds of vehicles to choose from, including premium luxury vehicles to everyday drivers in all price ranges. Because remember, they carry so many brands too. And Thalen searches the market for the lowest prices on their used vehicles. That's the price they pass on to you. And they do that. They will tell you it is the right thing to do. Financing, no problem at Thalen, no matter your current credit situation. Visit the Thalen Auto Group in Bay City on North Euclid Avenue, or view their inventory online at thinkthalen.com. You can test drive the vehicle of your dreams, then sit down with the Thalen representative to see how easy it is to make your dreams come true. The Thalen family has been serving the automotive needs of the Great Lakes Bay region for 44 years. now in their third generation of ownership. Stop in, visit them today. Thalen, North Euclid Avenue in Bay City. We'll be back with our guests after these notes.
Spring is here and we are ready. Ready to help your yard look just as vibrant and colorful as it should. Quality, locally grown products at very competitive prices. That's why so many of you come to Abley Greenhouse and Garden Center. Hi, I'm Matt Bouvet. We sincerely appreciate and we want you to know that when you plant with us, you get the best plants, expert advice, affordable price, and the safety you would expect from our family-owned business. That's why your mom and dad or even grandparents started their spring with a visit to see us. Stroll through our more than 78,000 square feet of greenhouse and garden center and enjoy springtime at its finest. Enjoy the smell. Feel the energy. Make it a part of your yard this year with the help of Abley Greenhouse and Garden Center. Like us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's that easy. Plan to plant with us this spring at Abley Greenhouse and Garden Center on Wadsworth near the freeway, Saginaw. See us today. Make your outdoors beautiful.
Maintain your vehicles and get 11% off everything at Menards. Check out the great selection of Valvoline motor oil. It protects against heat, engine deposits, and wear. It also helps maintain fuel efficiency for the life of the oil. Valvoline full synthetic motor oil is $4.99 a quart after 11% rebate. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through May 15th. Savings are a mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Come on, come in, let the fun begin.
At MichiganLottery.com, the one place you'll find exclusive games like Queen of Diamonds and Powerball and Mega Millions that can reach $1 billion. Cash out online or at your favorite store. And all proceeds support Michigan schools and businesses. Get 100% match on your first deposit up to $100, plus free games. Sign up with promo code RADIO. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
So play on, Michigan, because we all win.
Line drive, base hit into left field. Scooted off the infield grass. Goodrum heading to second throw, not in time. Miko Goodrum delivers. Mazzara scores 2-0 Tigers.
The Tigers play 6:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we are back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, talking to Dan Streeter from the Good Samaritan Youth Shelter, the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan, Mary Ellen Johnson with Youth Protective in Saginaw and Interlink. And to both of you, everything in society takes money. Even the best of things we do in society, and certain your causes are among the best. How do we pay for it? So, Mary Ellen, let's start with you, because I know once I start with Dan, there won't be time for anything else. So, Mary Ellen, tell us about your funding.
Well, Art, first of all, thank you for letting me cut. Appreciate that. He is my neighbor. We are largely grant funded, and that state federal funding, and that's wonderful. We're very appreciative of that, but it's also restrictive in terms of the scope of work we can do. For example, the 21 days. Who magically thought up in 21 days you could cure family crisis?
Yeah.
So grant funded, and that's great to keep the doors open, but there's restrictions with that.
So your funding though is grant funded. So you don't necessarily have to go out and ask the public for money.
We are also supported by the United Way of Saginaw County.
Okay.
And so what a wonderful partnership. Through the United Way of Saginaw County, we're allowed to focus on kids, and they're out in the community raising funds for us.
Yeah. Dan, of course, your organization, we know how you're funded because we participate in that funding a lot.
Right.
How are you compensating for this youth shelter?
So we've been doing building our capacity, fundraising, and seeing people respond and giving specifically for the Samaritan Youth Shelter. A perfect example was Hockey for the Homeless had turned into an event because our values align on helping youth. And so Hockey for the Homeless had become a singular event that was benefiting just totally for the Samaritan Youth Shelter. And unfortunately, we've not had that. And so that makes things just a little bit more difficult. But we're just taking it one day at a time and helping to provide for those youth. A neat part of this as well, and Mary Ellen would attest to this with being a nonprofit, there's always gaps and there's always something that needs to be taken care of. So even grants don't take care of that alone. And so on that website, there's a link to both of our sites, our websites, our individual websites. And so if somebody wants to give, then they can, and then there's a giving page on each website. One of the things that's really unique about this partnership, and you don't see too many organizations coming together because of funding issues and because they're more territorial. We're really approaching this as a strong collaboration effort because there's so many kids that are at risk and the consequences are so large. And so this is really a very unique relationship within the state and just a great plus for this region, this kind of collaboration, so that a kid who is experiencing homelessness or trauma can be able to get that help and have the choice and be able to go to the place that best serves them. And so that 24-hour hotline, we can't stress enough. We're really excited about launching this, but it's really launching that coordinated service that we're also very excited about.
Just out of curiosity, are there youth shelters in Midland or Aranac or other counties around here?
No, we're the two. So it's if you don't like the accommodations there, you're going to have to go a long drive like to Flint or something like that. But that is one of the negatives, is that there aren't enough service providers in this region. And so not in this region, but in the state. And so this is one of those things where a kid, hopefully we're going to find the best fit for a difficult place. So 866-TEEN-911, we're launching this. We can't get it out enough right now because we want kids to be able to have a choice. And more importantly, when they're hitting that vulnerability, that they're able to get assistance and get action so that they don't have to continue in that either abusive situation or the neglect situation. They can get help immediately. Any
thoughts of expansion?
So we're always thinking about expansion, and that was one of the things that we promised, is that, and this is how we approach all of our services in Rescue Ministries, is that we're looking at where is that part of the community need. And so we're looking at that very strongly right now in helping to create apartments for kids who are aged 18 to 22, single occupancy apartments, and looking to try to launch that program by the end of the year. So we're looking at what more can we do to help people who are vulnerable, and that's one of the things that it's on our horizon.
Once they hit 18 to 22, then they're part of the Rescue Ministries program, right? As opposed to the shelter.
It is, but there still is some specialized care that really needs to happen with that 18-year-old. So a kid gets out of foster care at 18 years old, and the state cuts off funding for them for the foster care family. So now they find themselves with no place to go. And there's very, very few landlords that want to touch an 18-year-old. And so they then are going to struggle with homelessness, and they're going to struggle with life skills and trying to get placed. And usually kids who have gone through the foster care system have experienced so much trauma that their learning is de-accelerated. And so there's just so many ways they need help. So if we can create a culture for them that allows them to have their own place, to learn what it's like to be a young adult, and to get that guidance in a safe, where we're looking to go into next.
And Mary Ellen, I just have about 30 seconds here as a follow-up. Do you follow up these youngsters once they leave your facility at all?
We have long-term shelter and we have rental assistance programs. So our long-term shelter is another 18 months, life skills, case management, another 24. So we've got a continuum of care for them.
So you hook them up with people that can help them change their future, so to speak.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Mary Ellen, thank you much for coming in today and sitting with us. Glad to chat with you. And thank you for your service. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Dan, you know how I feel. So
thanks as always.
Yep, as always, my friend. We will chat with you down the road here. As a matter of fact, I have to give you a call about something else, and I will. But Dan Streeter from the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. Thank both of you for being with us today. We appreciate it. Take care. And we'll take our last break, come back, and we will close out the hour.
Join the millions switching to Spectrum Mobile, and you could save up to 40%. Nationwide 5G is included with every plan, and there are no added taxes. And for a limited time, get up to $300 off a new Samsung 5G phone with trade-in when you switch to Spectrum Mobile. Visit a Spectrum store near you or go to spectrummobile.com today. Savings based on comparison of single-line comparable unlimited plans amongst major national carriers as of 1/20. Usage limits vary by carrier. Spectrum internet required. Services not available in all areas. Restrictions apply.
Get huge savings with fuel rewards every time you fill up at one of your 26 area Forward Shell convenience stores. Get at least 5 cents off a gallon every single fill up and earn even more when you make purchases in store. You can regularly save 10, 20, even 30 cents off a gallon, which means less money goes into your tank and more stays into your wallet. Visit fuelrewards.com to sign up and start saving today. That's Fuel Rewards at your area Forward Shell convenience stores. And remember, when you want to pay less at the pump, go forward.
Fresh air, fresh RVs, fresh adventures. You'll find it all at General RV in New Adventure Sale. You can bring home your RV for as low as $99 per month. Our experts will help you shop our huge selection of family-friendly trailers, spacious fifth wheels, and luxurious motorhomes. New RVs are rolling in daily. It's the perfect time to begin a new adventure at General RV in Birch Run off I-75. Payment based on 23% down at 4% APR for 120 months, subject to credit approval. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. Don't look back and wish that you had taken action. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com.
Rocket. Call lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
Yeah, that'll do it for this hour of the Art Lewis Show, but we will be back next hour. And next hour, we will have open phones for you for the entire hour. In the meantime, we have news coming up at the top of the hour. That's CBS News. Bring you up to date on the national and international news. Ann Williams in the WSGW newsroom with the local report. And then we'll be back with open phones on the Art Lewis Show. We'll talk to you right after the news.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Vicki Barker in London. The EPA is waiving some pollution control requirements to free up fuel supplies in the areas worst hit by that. CBS's Ed O'Keefe paints the picture for us.
From Florida to North Carolina, drivers made a run for gas, waiting in long lines across the Southeast in anticipation of a shortage.
You don't want to miss out. You don't want to be the one that doesn't get gas.
The shutdown of the pipelines also putting major airports in Baltimore, Charlotte, and others on the East Coast at risk of low supply. Federal officials worked through the weekend to monitor the fallout, and the transportation department's making it easier to move fuel by truck to address supply disruptions.
Colonial Pipeline says it hopes to be back up to speed by the end of the week. The FBI is blaming an Eastern European crime ring for the ransomware attack. Pfizer says the FDA did the right thing approving its COVID vaccine for kids as young as 12.
We had 0 cases in the vaccine recipients and 18 in those that received placebo. So we're very encouraged that the vaccine is likely to have high efficacy. Of course, there may be breakthrough cases.
Pfizer VP William Gruber in the Middle East. Rockets and missiles crisscrossing the skies. CBS is
Hamas rockets streaking from Gaza toward Israel lit up the night sky, and so did the glow of Israeli retaliatory airstrikes. Israel says it hit Hamas military targets, but this morning, Gazans inspected collateral damage.
They say that collateral damage includes at least 9 children among 24 dead in that Israeli strike itself. Of course, retaliation for the Hamas rocket attacks. And Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has just vowed to intensify those airstrikes. Look for a new feature Seascape, anyway, as CBS White House correspondent Stephen Portnoy reports.
While offshore wind farms are scattered across Europe, they're exceedingly rare here. The Biden administration aims to change that, starting with the approval of a major wind farm 15 miles off the southern coast of Martha's Vineyard. There, dozens of massive turbines with blades longer than a football field would provide enough power for 400,000 homes. The Trump administration stalled the Vineyard Wind Project amid complaints from local fishermen and property owners.
First, for the Lutheran Church, CBS's Jim Krasula has that.
The Reverend Megan Rohr has become the first openly transgender person to be chosen as bishop of a denomination. The 41-year-old, who is pastor of a church in San Francisco, will oversee some 200 Lutheran churches in central and northern California and northern Nevada.
This is CBS News.
Looking to hire? Indeed will help you speed up the process. They have 135 skills tests to help you find the right candidates faster. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
Wearing a mask is more than protection. It's a bridge to better days. The path back to celebrations with family. Nights out on the town with friends. Game days with your favorite sports teams. And the thrill of live concerts. But until we can all and build community immunity, which will take time, we all need to continue to stay careful, because Michigan's recovery is depending on you, and so are your family, friends, and neighbors. So even after you're vaccinated, wear a mask, avoid large gatherings, and social distance. One day in the near future, we will all be able to put this pandemic behind us. But until then, spread hope, not COVID. Learn more at michigan.gov/coronavirus. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Hello, I'm one of those. Everyone's trying to find me, but most can't, unless there's ZipRecruiter. If you've hired before, you understand it's quite hard to find a unicorn. You know, someone who's perfect for your role. So how does ZipRecruiter do it so quickly? ZipRecruiter's technology matches your job up with the right people for your role and invites them to apply, so you get brilliant candidates fast.
Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for JB's Market in Munger. You are going to get a 1-pack of JB's Protein Power Balls and a 4-pack of brats at JB's Market in Munger. That would usually cost you $10. You are getting it half off. JB's Market serves all Michigan-made products. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now and snag your deal. RocketGrabPlus.com.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
It's 44 degrees at 10:05. Good morning. I'm Ian Williams. Both Bay and Saginaw counties have lessened the amount of time people need to quarantine if they believe they may have been exposed. Anyone not showing direct symptoms and have not had direct contact with a household contact will only need to quarantine for 10 days instead of the previous 14. The change takes place immediately and is retroactive. Household contacts are subject to quarantine for the time period of the exposure, plus 10 days for subsequent quarantine. The county health departments are urging all residents to get vaccinated against the coronavirus. Clinic schedules can be found online at baycounty-mi.gov/health or saginawpublichealth.org. Appointments are preferred but not required. Should Saginaw City Council members be restricted in their use of devices capable of sending messages during ongoing virtual sessions? The question was presented as part of City Council's consent agenda following changes at previous meetings requiring members to keep their cameras on or be considered absent while off camera.
Council Rules of Order device policy was suggested as a way to remain transparent with residents and within the parameters of the state's Open Meetings Act. But Councilwoman Annie Bench says, among the others in agreement on council, that she's never had the issue of off-the-record communication between members during meetings, and that accusations brought on by other rule modifications are unwarranted and invasive.
I've had to ask my kids to quiet down, and I've had to ask to take the dogs out because they wouldn't quit barking, so I don't have to get up and leave. I feel like this would pave the way to, first of all, invade all of our privacy. And second of all, I'm just wondering what we're being accused of, unless you're paying far more attention to our behavior than you are the actual meeting. I think we're getting into silly season here and kind of some petty tit-for-tat stuff.
Council, another review and discussion, voting 8-1 to delay an approval or denial until a future session. WSGW News Time coming up on 10:08.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
It's new, the newly enhanced XT2 series tractors from Cub Cadet. These lawn tractors have always set the standard for performance and comfort. Now get more strength, durability, and versatility with a strong Kawasaki engine delivering reliable power to tackle your yard, plus a 42-inch heavy-duty fabricated AeroForce deck cutting system delivering a best-in-class cut with fewer clumps, finer clippings, and increased evenness. The tough torque hydrostatic transmission delivers no shifting. Just push the pedal and go. See enhanced XT2 series tractors today at Woolfiles, Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street, Saginaw, where customer service still exists. Open 7 days.
It's the sound of a good deal. That's music to your ears.
WSGW News Time is 10:08. The Midland Area Community Foundation and the Long-Term Recovery Group meet this Thursday via Zoom as the Great Lakes Bay region approaches the one-year anniversary of the May 19th, 2020 flood that devastated the area. WSGW's Michael Percha reports.
This month's topic is resilience. Presenters for Thursday's session are Sarah Owens of Sarah Owens Consulting and Kathy Dollard, Director of Behavioral Health at Mid-Michigan Health. The session will include topics on resilience, including why a flood is considered a traumatic event, how trauma manifests, and how to move forward. Flood recovery. Everyone. Attendees are required to register for sessions at midlandfoundation.org/Zoom into flood. Sessions are held monthly on the second Thursday of the month. Michael Percha, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
An elderly St. Clair County woman has been reported missing. 84-year-old Nadine Moses left her home in Casco Township on May 4th in a 2011 dark blue Ford Edge with a handicap license plate number C8932. She has not been seen or heard from since that time. Police say she suffers from memory loss and her phone is turned off. Anyone who sees her or her vehicle is asked to call St. Clair County Central Dispatch. When you see news happening, call the WSGW Newsroom, 752-0790. It's 1010. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Increasing clouds today, with areas of rain possible this afternoon, which high of 54. Tonight, lingering hours, then gradual clearing. Areas of frost possible as we dip to a low near 36. High of 63 on Wednesday. Lots of sunshine. Wednesday night, mainly clear, low near 37. High of 68 on Thursday. Lots of sun. Thursday night, clear to partly cloudy, low near 42. High of 69 on Friday. Lots of sun. Friday night, low of 43. I'm meteorologist Laura Lockwood with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now, 45.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around your block to around the world, The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com.
And welcome back to the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW for Tuesday morning, sponsored by Linda Shepherd at Pinnacle Realty. For all of your residential and commercial real estate needs, call Linda Shepherd at Pinnacle Realty, 989-295-3900. 295-3900. Pinnacle Realty. It's an open phone edition today. Whatever you'd like to chat about, Saginaw Bay City, 752-6111. Toll free, 866-790 WSGW. I guess we'll get right to it because Al in Midland is chomping at the bit this morning. So, Al, good morning to you. Al, good morning. Al, are you there? There you go. Now I think I got you.
I heard an echo 3 times.
Good
morning to Arthur.
I asked 3 times because they didn't have you up, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I heard the little chime, the little.
Yeah, I didn't hear you though.
Yeah. Well, hey, I wanted to expand on that bunny thing again. There's some creative financing that the school system could use to raise some funds.
All right, hang on. Before you start, hang on a minute, Al.
Okay.
I tell you, you are a mind reader because in my hand, I have a press release on the Saginaw Bunny preservation. This is an update. Normally, I just don't read press releases, but this one tells the story. So I'm going to read this to you. Then we can talk about it.
Sure.
And this was a press notification, and I think this may have come from the owner of the sign, I guess, of the building, whoever it is that owns the sign. On Saturday, May 8th, Saginaw's iconic Bean Bunny began a journey of preservation, restoration, and eventual redisplay. The sign owner removed the neon bunny sign from the top of the long-closed Michigan Bean elevator on North Niagara in Saginaw. He recognizes that the sign is an icon of regional identity and has arranged safe and protected storage while working with a group of local stakeholders to secure the sign's future. The sign has been dark since 2006 due to high repair costs following a lightning strike. A group of interested community leaders are working with the owner of the sign through the Saginaw Community Foundation and will be working on fundraising, your point, and a plan for replacement of the sign in the same geographic area. A fund has been established at the Saginaw Community Foundation to support the sign's restoration, provide for regular maintenance, and secure placement within Saginaw where light can continue to welcome residents and visitors to the community. Donation checks to support those efforts should be made out to the Saginaw Community Foundation and reference the Bean Bunny. You can mail it to the foundation at 1 Tuscola Street, Suite 100 in Saginaw, 48607. So your timing is perfect because that was what I was going to lead with.
Okay. Further to your point, people like to have recognition when they make a donation. And one of the things that the Center for the Arts did, they had a wall section that's on public display. They have plastic tags or kind of a golden colored tag embedded into the brick.
Right.
With the name of the donor that donated money toward that fund. Now, the school system could do something similar to that with the Bean Bunny thing.
Well, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. It would appear from this, the school system does not own the Bean Bunny.
Right.
They may work with whoever does own it to replace it, but they don't own the Bean Bunny. They don't control the Bean Bunny.
That's why they have to get creative with the financing.
Yeah, but they're not going to do it. You're not hearing me, Al.
Right.
The school system is not going to do it. The Saginaw Community Foundation, which are fundraising experts, believe me.
But I'm trying to explain my point on this. Some group has to come together, like a foundation or something, to sponsor this.
They already have.
But I need to finish my thought here. And put up a wall like this in the school with the school's permission as part of this fundraising thing.
Well,
I want to
that's
see it
possible.
handled independently away from the school, but still in honor of the school. And the sporting event people can get in on the act too, because with a little creative marketing, like I said the other day, they could have their team mascots. The Bean Bunny Hoppers.
Yeah, well, that was
a creative name.
That was one idea I really, really liked. I mean, that's a great idea. That's a funny idea.
The right kind of marketing, you get the right
Yeah.
Yeah,
but they understand, Al. Understand, these are experts. I know these people at the foundation.
I'm just throwing
They know what
against
they
the
know
wall.
what they're doing, and a lot of places put up donor walls, if you will.
Right.
There was a pavilion built at one of the Little League fields here in honor of Sam Merrill, who passed away years ago, and there's a donor wall on it. And that it's a great idea, and who knows? First of all, what the future is going to be for it, because right now, at least it's protected. The sign is down, it's stored, it's protected, and there is already a fund well established for it, because there had been a fund established to put LED lights on it, but the owner of the elevator wouldn't go for it because of safety and insurance.
Right.
So I listen. Every idea is a good idea when it comes to raising money. There are no bad ideas. But
I'm with you. The experts need to do this, but I'm on the outside, and I'm just throwing spaghetti against the wall and whatever sticks. I'm thinking outside the box.
Yep.
And the public and the boards that do this kind of stuff, to everybody on this, because like you say, nobody has a bad idea.
Yep.
And the crazy ones sometimes turn into the best ideas of all.
Yeah,
Even
well, those
if they
aren't
wacky.
the ideas you had aren't crazy. I mean, they're pretty fairly common actually. But the one the biggest idea that I love the most is the bunny mascot. I think that one's precious.
I think it's a great idea, and if the school system were very clever with some marketing, the marketing could be donated.
Yep.
That could be another thing that could be donated to the school to implement this as a mascot.
Yep.
Some organization that does advertising could come out and say, "Hey, we're going to make a
Yep.
Helping you with this at a reduced cost or whatever." And everybody can get their name into this.
Yep.
So
all right, fair enough.
It's a big PR thing in a way.
All right, Al.
Arthur,
Yep,
for
thanks.
letting me spout off a little bit.
Yeah, it's all right. Thanks for calling. I
Bye
appreciate
now,
it.
sir.
Bye bye. Lots of ideas, and I think as I said, there's no bad ideas, but the idea of a wall is not a new one. I mean, lots of people, they're all over the place, where you find plaques with names of people that donated to get it off the ground. It's a great idea. It's one that should be looked at. The bunny mascot, I think, is great. I think you'd have to find a different name for it. I don't think it's going to be the Saginaw bunnies. That doesn't. That's not an aggressive sports connotation. But you could use the bunny as your mascot and give it a name. And I think that would be kind of cool. Sean is in Bay City. Sean, you're on the Art Lewis Show. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art, and good to hear from you. Hope you are well.
I am. Hope you are too.
Good. Hey, just one comment about the Beans Bunny sign. I can appreciate it. I can appreciate it. I remember going out across 675 as a kid, looking off of there and seeing that Beans Bunny sign. However, the city of Saginaw has a serious priority issue if the Beans Bunny is consuming all your time, thought, and, well, not all of it, but way too much. There's way. You should be putting stuff together for figuring out how to make your city survive and less shootings and all that kind of.
The city is doing that. They've been doing that. The city's been doing that. City's been doing that for a long time. The Bean Bunny is just one little piece of a big puzzle.
Well, right, and I get that, but there's so many articles on M Live. There's articles here. There's people talking about it. That's not where the focus of all the things Saginaw should be focused on. That's all I'm saying. The Beans Bunny.
Well, it's not the only thing they're focused on. That's all I'm saying.
Well, obviously,
there are many, many, many people working on the problems of the city. Trust me, because I'm on some of those groups. We have lots of people working on them. And every now and then you have to have a positive to look at. And the Bean Bunny is that. So it's just one piece of the puzzle, and it represents a piece of the city. And the city isn't ignorant of its problems. The city's not ignorant of its problems.
What you need to do is move past the past. You should be looking to the future for Saginaw. And rather than trying to, and that's just my opinion, like say, I can appreciate the Bean Bunny and all that. But really, I mean, if you shouldn't spend a penny on it. Spend a penny on clearing up the blight or something. Not saying that.
They're well ahead of that.
Extra effort.
They are so far ahead of most cities in cleaning up the blight. It's not funny. They have taken down hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of blighted homes in Saginaw. You just don't hear about it as much.
Well, you've
That's
only
all.
got a few hundred more to go.
And Bay City has none?
Art, that's not what I'm saying.
All right, well, I'm just pointing out that it's not a unique problem. So
if you can't honestly sit there and go, hey, Saginaw's got a lot of problems, the city of Saginaw, a lot of all those issues, focusing on the Bean Bunny probably shouldn't be one of them. You can't sit there and be honest.
Well, I can.
Like I say, I appreciate the Bean Bunny.
All right,
I remember as a kid, it's cool. I get all that, but that's just not where any money should be going.
And I appreciate Bay City. I appreciate Bay City, where there was a shooting just the other day, wasn't there? You're not exclusive from it. You know, it's well, I know, listen, I know where you're coming from, but I understand and I appreciate it. All right. Got to go. Got to take a break, and we will be back with more here on the Art Lewis Show.
I'm elder law attorney Carol Thomas. Our Bay City seminars are coming up, and they're going to be on Wednesday at the Doubletree Hotel. I have seminars at 10 o'clock and 5 o'clock, and they always fill to capacity. These have been very difficult times for everyone, but I'm finding that more than ever, people want to come to my seminars. So unfortunately, we have to have less attendance because we honor social distancing. But the people that have come to my seminars since this all began are very grateful. If you don't know what you don't know, there's a chance you could lose everything if you or a loved one need nursing home care. At the seminar, we talk about wills and trusts and how it all fits together. If you've ever wondered about, should I go to one of Carol's seminars, I would say I highly recommend it. The seminars that we've had since this began have filled up to capacity. So if you are interested, please call my office at 793-2300.
I'm one of thousands of women with metastatic breast cancer, or MBC, which is breast cancer that has spread to other parts of the body. I'm living in the moment and taking Ibrance, palbociclib. Ibrance 100 with an aromatase inhibitor is for postmenopausal women or for men with HR-positive, HER2-negative MBC as the first hormonal-based therapy. Be in your moment. Ask your doctor about Ibrance and visit Ibrance.com.
Ibrance may cause low white blood cell counts that may lead to serious infections. Ibrance may cause severe inflammation of the lungs. Both of these can lead to death. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including trouble breathing, shortness of breath, cough, or chest pain. Before taking Ibrance, tell your doctor if you have fever, chills, or other signs of infection, liver or kidney problems, are or plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding. Common side effects include low red blood cell and low platelet counts, nausea, sore mouth, abnormalities in liver blood tests, diarrhea, hair thinning or loss, vomiting, rash, and loss of appetite.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks open sharply lower. New concerns that inflation could be brewing are creating concern on Wall Street, driven by supply issues, pent-up spending, and higher commodity prices. Data analytics company Palantir Technologies lost money in the recent quarter. Apple shares are among those losing ground. Reuters is reporting iPhone production may be impacted by the COVID-19 outbreak in India. A Foxconn factory reduced by 50%, though Foxconn says a small number of employees at a facility in India tested positive and it's providing medical assistance. L Brand shares have been losing ground, even though the company plans to spin off Victoria's Secret into its own business. It also owns Bath & Body Works. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Ginny Kosilva, invested in you.
Having your own home is awesome, but it's also a lot of work. The good news, finding help for your projects is easier than ever. Introducing Angie, the app that puts all your home care needs at your fingertips. Need a pro to fix that emergency leak? Maybe find someone to build a deck, or even set your seasonal tasks on autopilot. Angie can handle all that and more. Expert pros, clear pricing, and the easiest way to book and pay in seconds. This is Angie, your home for everything home. Download the app today.
Northeastern Paint Supply invites you to listen to the WSGW Focus Show with Art Lewis, weekday mornings from 11 to 11:30. You'll hear local business and community leaders. Sponsored by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City.
Research shows that people remember radio ads with repetition. So to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's a repetitive ad. Okay. Research shows that people... And so to help you remember that Liberty Mutual Insurance Company customizes your home insurance so you only pay for what you need, here's a repetitive ad. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Hey, Bill O'Reilly, and I'm here to tell you about a dramatic new book in my Killing series. It's called Killing the Mob. Now, the mob traces the brutal history of the fight against organized crime in America. From John Dillinger to Bonnie and Clyde, Al Capone to Bobby Kennedy. The real history of these iconic figures is more riveting than any fiction. So please read Killing the Mob. You can get it now, wherever books.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show here on WSGW. Pat at the station had a great suggestion. How about the Saginaw Jackrabbits? I like that. That's good. Saginaw Jackrabbits. Here is Scott in Saginaw. Scott, good morning to you.
Hey, morning, Art. Hey, your last caller, I live in Saginaw, and I got to say, I agree with the guy. You know, I live in Saginaw here. We got blight right down the road from me. We got piles of mattresses, tires, and other crap piled in people's yards where they're abandoned homes. The train tracks down 50 bags of trash sitting there. I've called the city. They're not doing anything about it. So my suggestion is, instead of putting all this effort into the bean thing, why don't we put this much effort into protecting our police? That would be the better thing. Why don't we put this energy into finding people jobs in this area instead of just worrying about the bean?
Well, because the bean is only one little piece. I mean, you're hearing about it right now because it came down, but all of those efforts are taking place now. Getting the blight cleaned up and getting that trash removed, I would agree with you, should take precedence over everything. And as far as the police go, they're doing a pretty darn good job in tough circumstances. But the blight in the city, and the blight, I know that, and I heard that, and the blight in the city, though, you are absolutely right. That needs to go, not just here, but everywhere where there's such conditions. I mean, it's inexcusable to have that kind of stuff laying around and nothing being done about it. And I don't know what the answer is. I know who to call to find out, but I would think that would be a priority.
Well, I would think so too. I mean, again, all the energy that is being spent on the people here. The bean thing's great. I grew up here my whole life, but it'd be nice to have jobs for the youth. It'd be nice to have our parks looking a little better instead of stuff burned down in the park.
Well, let me point something out to you.
That man's right.
Let me point something out to you. There are all kinds of jobs for youth out there. Right now, just about every business has help wanted signs. Why aren't the youth?
That's only because of the COVID, Art.
So what? The jobs are there. Why aren't people taking them? The jobs are there. Why aren't the youth taking them?
I don't want to get off on a different tangent here.
No, you don't want to answer the question.
No, Art, GM left. What did they? Damn thing. What did they do to fill the position?
Hey.
All they did is focus.
Let's talk about today. Scott, let's talk about today. You said let's find jobs for the youth. I'm telling you, they're out there by the dozens. Why aren't they taking them?
Because of the COVID, Art. Let's get rid of the mask mandate. Let's get everything back to
All right.
The jobs will fill up.
Okay.
Okay, Art. You know
good
best,
enough,
don't
Scott.
You know best.
No, you do, obviously, but that's all right. Hey, listen, this is an opinion show, and you are welcome to yours, and that's why we're here, so you can express it.
You argue with everybody that you disagree with. You argue with everybody. You are a very, very small man, Art.
Good. Thank you, Scott. Nice to have you here.
Yeah, you're small.
And let's talk to Paul in Saginaw. Paul, you're up. Good morning.
Morning, Art.
Yeah, let me just point something out, Paul, before we go any further.
Okay.
You know, he says I argue with everybody. What I do is I don't allow statements to go forward that aren't backed up by fact. And and that's my job. And that's what I do. If you factually tell me something, fine. If you make accusations that aren't based on fact and aren't real in basis, I'm going to challenge it. That's what I do. All right, Paul, go ahead.
Yeah,
Your
I'm
turn.
Gonna change I'm going to change. So we'll get off the other one.
That's fine.
I was listening to your program yesterday with O'Reilly in his book, and
yep,
I was fascinated. I went out and bought the book, and I read the whole thing yesterday.
I was going to say it's a quick read, isn't it?
Well, I didn't get done till 1 a.m, but it's a fascinating read, an interesting read. It covers the 1920s through the 70s. And I understand why he didn't go any farther than that. He probably wants to live a healthy life the rest of his life. But the one thing about I took away from his book, and this is sad, the blackmailing of Hoover, the FBI director. Even though Hoover did a great job before he got blackmailed, and then Hoover himself became an expert at blackmailing politicians and other private citizens.
Yep.
Kept the FBI from doing anything about organized crime for decades.
Well,
and that is the saddest thing about that whole thing.
Well, my dad, I think you might have heard this yesterday, but my dad was a special agent in the Treasury for many, many, many years before he passed away in the 60s. And he had to do some work for Hoover in the 80s, in the 50s, I'm sorry, late 50s. We moved from New York City to Washington, D.C. for 3 months during the summer. And he and another agent had to write some manuals and things for them. And he knew Hoover. And he did not like the man. And the reason he did not like the man is because he said that Hoover would trash the Constitution in the name of saving it. And my dad was...
He certainly did.
And my dad was just adamant about it. I mean, adamant about it. And I can remember telling this story a number of years ago on the radio, and a fellow who was a supervising FBI agent in this area heard it and came unglued that I would take Hoover to task like that, because he was an FBI agent and he knew who worked with him. But we've become friends since, but we had a big luncheon one day about that very discussion and had a friend of mine sit between the two of us. But that was my dad was adamant about it. I mean, he had no use for the guy, although he credited him up until he passed away. My dad passed away in 1969. He credited Hoover, with controlling corruption up until that point.
Right.
But after that,
it's sad it turned out that way, but that's why nothing was done for decades about organized crime, because of the blackmailing. And then Hoover in return wanted to keep his job. So he also blackmailed others so that he would not get fired. And that's why things turned out the way they did.
There are a lot of other things about Hoover too, but that's for another show.
Right.
All right.
O'Reilly's book is a very fascinating, interesting read.
He's a very good writer, and he writes it. He's got a guy that he writes with. That's his, ghostwriter or whatever, Martin Dugard. And this is Riley has written. I counted them the other day on the front leaf of the book. There's a list of all the books he has written, and most of them are historical books, history related, some political. But there's a list of books that's a mile long. It's got to be 30 or 40 books that he's written in his life, and this is the 10th in the Killing series. Started out with Lincoln, and then killing Kennedy, killing Jesus, killing Patton, killing Reagan. Killing the Rising Sun, killing England, killing the SS, and killing Crazy Horse. So this is the 10th one in that series. And he is, by training, O'Reilly was a historian. He taught history in high school. So he's never lost his love for it. And he really has a way of putting it out there in terms you can understand.
Well, there's so many facts and information in there that has never been disclosed.
Yeah.
And he does a great job of presenting.
Yep.
I was so fascinated with. I went to the library and got checked out another one of his books on the Wild West, Legends of the Wild West.
Yeah.
And
All right.
I'm starting to read that.
Paul, I got to interrupt for time here. I got to take a break.
Okay.
We'll talk again. Thanks. Bye-bye now. We'll be back with more after these notes on the Art Lewis Show.
Bader & Sons Company is your local John Deere dealer. We are here to help you farm Michigan. We offer replacement parts like filters, belts, and hoses for your equipment. You'll find them in-store and online at greentractors.com. With John Deere's Good, Better, Best parts program, combined with our trained parts pros, we can help you find the parts you need. Provide the service your equipment deserves in our 10 service shops or in the field. Let Bader & Sons Company show you why we have the service and the parts at the right price.
These days, nearly every small business owner is looking for ways to cut costs. And that's where Spectrum Business comes in. They have the best business internet and phone available at prices that are up to half off what you're paying now. That's right. You can cut costs for your business and get faster internet. Just what small businesses need right now. Call 833-919-2129 and get all the value with none of the nonsense. That's Spectrum Business. 833-919-2129.
I want to tell you about seniors 60 and older. The Saginaw County Commission on Aging is holding free virtual Tai Chi classes every Monday and Wednesday via Zoom. Tai Chi is a very gentle stress and anxiety reducer. It helps increase flexibility and balance. So if you're interested in meeting new friends in a fun and friendly social environment and would like to give Tai Chi and all of its health benefits a try, give Saginaw County Commission on Aging a call to reserve your space. Classes will be virtual until social distancing requirements can be relaxed. If interested, call Carol at 989-790-3289. That's 790-3289. RSVP is required for Zoom login information for free virtual Tai Chi classes with the Saginaw County Commission on Aging.
There are some things you can't avoid. But you can avoid overpaying taxes in retirement. At Great Lakes Investment Advisors, we have a free guide to show you how you may be able to pay less in taxes when you retire. To get it, go to greatlakesoffers.com/tax. This guide explains how different types of retirement accounts are taxed in easy to understand terms and how a smart distribution strategy can help preserve what you've worked so hard for. At Great Lakes, mission is to show you strategies to help make your retirement income more tax efficient. Find out how with our free guide. Get it today at greatlakesoffers.com/tax. That's greatlakeoffers.com/tax. And for more on retirement planning, tune in to Jason and Carl's radio show, Your Financial and Power Hour, every Sunday morning at 8. Firm offers insurance services and does not provide tax advice. Investment advisory services offered by Great Lakes Investment Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor firm in the state of Michigan.
Attention timeshare owners. Getting out of your timeshare can feel like a battle. All you want is to save some money, reduce your stress, and stop paying for something you aren't even using. But the process can be daunting. But it doesn't have to be. With Newton Group, you get access to an exclusive secret weapon to get out of your timeshare. This secret weapon is something only Newton Group offers and was developed to help timeshare owners just like you save thousands of dollars and regain control of their finances. And this secret weapon is a key part of why we have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau, 4.7 out of 5 stars on Trustpilot, and a proven track record to legally relieve you from the financial burden of your timeshare. If you want out of your timeshare, visit besttimeshareexit.com to learn more about this exclusive secret weapon to get out of your timeshare. Go to besttimeshareexit.com or call 877-TOP-EXIT. That's besttimeshareexit.com to get you. Go to besttimeshareexit.com now or call 877-TOP-EXIT.
Line drive, base hit into left field. Scooted off the infield grass. Goodrum heading to second throw, not in time. Miko Goodrum delivers. Mazzara scores 2-0 Tigers.
The Tigers play 6:50 tonight on 790 News Radio WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show on WSGW, and Perry is up in West Branch. Perry, thanks for waiting. Good morning. Perry, are you there? Hello, Perry.
Hello.
There you are. Good morning, Perry.
All right. Hey, you know what? I've been working all my life, and I have to get the heck out of the house every morning. I have to do something, and I come out and I listen to you. So
I appreciate it.
We do the social distancing stuff, so I don't talk to a lot of people. And the reason these employees don't want to go back to work, let's say they have a couple, 3 kids at home that are not going to school. And if they're drawing unemployment, let's say their regular salary was drawing unemployment for $350 a month, it doesn't make sense for them to go back to work. So that's why they're not. Yep. That's why they're not doing it.
Yep. Yeah, I understand that. I now Scott was talking about getting jobs for youth, and I can understand parents who have to take care of their kids. But if you're 17 or 18 years old without family responsibilities and you're not working, that's because you don't want to work.
I don't agree with Scott at all. He was ornery on the phone with you, brother.
Well, listen, that doesn't bother me. I'm more interested in fact, because he's saying, well, we got to get jobs for youth. I said, well, there's jobs all over the place. He says, well, COVID won't let them work. Well, then how are you going to get the jobs for youth if COVID's your excuse?
There is. There's jobs all over. I was up in LP there last weekend for Mother's Day, and every manufacturing plant I went by had signs out saying, hiring, now hiring. Every place wanted to hire somebody,
Absolutely. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen help wanted signs before, but not at every store and every business and every manufacturer. It's just endless.
Yep. I'm not going back to work. My pension goes right into my account every month, but I don't have to worry.
Oh, you're one of those. You're one of those good retired folks.
I'm a state employee that's retired.
Well, listen, thanks for your service. State employees are wonderful. I listen.
Yeah, I did a little over 20 years in the Department of Corrections.
No, did you really? Enough. Wow, I would say so. Woo. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a tough gig.
Well, I did my first 13 down in Jackson at the north side, and then I finished up here at Standish Max.
Wow.
I was only stabbed twice.
What?
I was only stabbed twice.
I like the way you put it. Only stabbed twice. That'd be too many for me, I'll tell you that.
Every day was a different day in there, Art. Every day was different.
I'll bet it was. I'll bet it was.
I was on the emergency response team, and sometimes my lieutenant would bump me on the radio and say, "Get your team together. We're going in for a solid stretch." You got a neighbor that flooded his cell, and he's got feces all over his window, and I was shield man. I'd bump my team on the radio and we'd get all dressed up and with our respirators, and we'd gas that convict, and I'd go in and hit him with the shield.
Sounds wonderful, Perry. Gee, you're leading such a dull life now.
Yeah, it's just me and my dog on my AK.
Well, listen, we appreciate you listening, and thanks for calling. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
All right, you have a good day.
Take care, Perry. Bye-bye now. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll get to Mark and Alma when we return.
Think about it. We could be at the beach.
Or we could be cozier.
Poolside, drinks in hand.
Or we could, well, we won't get to, so what's it matter?
Well, it does mean we do have some money to spend. You want to upgrade our countertops?
And not have any neat vacation pictures to post for everyone?
Are you kidding? With the granite and quartz countertops I'm picturing from Stone Specialists, we're going to want to show it off.
A picture is worth 1,000 words.
Ah, but a stone countertop? That's forever.
I like the way you think.
Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. From imagination to installation, they'll guide you through every step of the process. Upgrade and increase the beauty and value of your home with Stone Specialists. Now available by appointment to serve you better with 2 locations in Burton and Midland at stonespecialists.net or follow us on Facebook. Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. Stone Specialists. Bring the romance of natural stone to your home.
Before buttons, things were much harder, like starting an outboard motor. Or even treating sleep apnea. If you've tried CPAP but struggle to get a good night's sleep, relief can be as easy as a button with Inspire.
Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit inspiresleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
Hello, I'm a unicorn. Yes, one of those. Everyone's trying to find me, but most can't, unless they're ZipRecruiter. If you've hired before, you understand it's quite hard to find a unicorn. You know, someone who's perfect for your role. So how does ZipRecruiter do it so quickly? ZipRecruiter's technology matches your job up with the right people for your role and invites them to apply, so you get brilliant candidates fast.
Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/trial. That's ZipRecruiter.com/trial.
Hey everybody, Jay Farner here, CEO of Rocket Mortgage and Rocket Companies. Last year, we saw historically low mortgage interest rates. In fact, over 1 million homeowners took advantage of refinancing or buying a new home with Rocket Mortgage. What you may not know is that interest rates are already starting to increase again, and it's likely that trend is only going to continue. Our team of experts is standing by to help you save before rates go up. With an official mortgage review from Rocket Mortgage, you'll see just how much money you could save by making a move right now. Don't look back over these next few weeks and wish that you had taken action. You could save hundreds on your mortgage payments or pay off your home loan earlier than planned. You could even take cash out of your home to pay off high interest debt, complete home repairs, or bulk up on an emergency fund. When you want to secure a low rate, Rocket can. Call 833-8ROCKET or visit rocketmortgage.com. Rocket.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender licensed in all 50 states and MLSConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
We, the jury, as to count 1, find the defendant guilty. Count 2, find the defendant guilty. As to count 3, find the defendant guilty.
These guilty verdicts against Mr. Chauvin cannot be the end of the conversation.
News coverage on WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. We'll get back to our phones on this open edition of the Art Lewis Show. Mark is in Alma. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, Art. How are you, sir?
We're doing all right. Hope you are too.
Hey, the jobs issue that's going on with people not wanting to work. So if we cancel out the extra money that's in the unemployment and give it to the people that are currently working, I think you would have full employment within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Of everybody wanting to get back into the workforce.
No,
sometimes you got to take drastic measures. And
yep,
go ahead.
I agree with you, and a number of states have begun to do that. Montana kind of led the way. They took the $300, that's the supplement part of it, away, and what they told people was, go out and get a job. If you hold that job for at least 4 weeks, we'll give you $1,200. So they'll give them back the $300 they would have had, but they make them work to get it. Makes more sense.
Sure does. Common sense.
Yeah, common sense. Good idea. And it appears a number of states are now moving in that direction. I understand Florida is going to be pulling away from the supplement, and there's a few other states that are beginning to drop the supplements and find another way to incentivize people to go to work rather than not go to work. So, very good. Great.
Hey, to change gears, I wanted to change gears and talk about the border crisis that's going on down there.
Sure.
You know, I look on my nightly news every night for something to change or a camera to be down by the border, and I keep getting the loops of thousands streaming across during the day. And then I sit there and I wonder, you know, you take 40 bad actors with machetes in a sleepy town, and you have all your patrol officers doing meet and greet of the people during the day while nobody's guarding the border at 3 a.m, and it's going to take a horrible situation in a sleepy town where guys come in with knives and tear up the town, but nobody's going to be around to stop them.
Yeah.
You know, that's what my biggest fear is. And it's going to take that type of situation before we really act and do something. We're never proactive, but we sure do like to do the reactive.
Well,
stuff,
yeah, I will point this out, Mark. You're only seeing that loop footage you point out. There has been quite a bit of nighttime footage because they do watch the border at night because that's when a lot of them try and get across. And those are the ones they're capturing. But you're right. I mean, it'll take some drastic incident, some tragedy to wake people up, and that's unfortunate. It's sometimes we're reactionary rather than proaction. So, all right, good enough, my friend. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Yep.
And Joanne in Saginaw. Joanne, good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing well.
Good. I was wondering if you had read Bill O'Reilly's book titled Old School.
What was it called?
Old School?
No, I had not.
It's a delightful read about, it has a quiz at the beginning chapter of how to determine if you are old school or not and what that entails. And it was a fun read.
He really, I see it on the list here. I have his list of all the books he wrote, and I'll have to look it up. He is such an easy read too. You know, the writing style of between himself and the guy he writes with, Martin Dugard. It really is an easy read, isn't it?
He is. His voice comes across clearly, and what could be a deep and plotting topic like BFS and Kennedy and all of those historical topics are readable because of his and his co-author's talent.
Absolutely. Sure. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right. You have to read that one if you want a light read.
I'll make a note of it.
All righty.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Joanne. Bye-bye now.
You're welcome.
All right. We got a couple of minutes left. If somebody gets in real quick, we'll be able to chat with them. There were a number of things. Oh, by the way, I had a listener send me a note on the video side that the Saginaw Jackrabbits is a mascot. And he goes on to say this stuff about the Bean Bunny. Why do callers care? Tax dollars are not going to fund any of it. And he says, correct. And as far as I know, that is correct. It's all private dollars. So, you know, it's an interesting comment. But apparently the Jackrabbits logo or the mascot is already taken by somebody. I wonder if it's one of the baseball teams. I'm not sure. I'll have to find out. Anyway, just a couple of other things to note. California, Governor Newsom, of course, under recall. He is now proposing to send Californians money, free money, for everybody making up to $75,000. And you know where he got the money? They taxed the wealthy in California and now have a budget surplus because of that. So he's literally taking from the rich to give to the poor. Robin Hood all over again. And it's all an attempt to what? Well, he's in the middle of a recall. It's a way to buy votes. So we'll have to watch it and see what happens. That's an interesting race out there. A lot of people involved. All right, we're going to take our last break, and then we will return and close out this edition of the Art Lewis Show on WSGW, sponsored by Linda Shepard at Pinnacle Realty, 989-295-3900 for all of your residential and commercial real estate needs.
Warmer weather is on the way, and Associates in Eye Care want you to remember to wear your sunglasses. Most of us acquire nearly 80% of our lifetime UV exposure before the age of 18, so it's extremely important for children to have sunglasses with UV protection. Ultraviolet rays are also reflected. Sunglasses are important in all types of weather. Ultraviolet rays have harmful effects on the eyes that can lead to cataracts and macular degeneration when we're older. To make an appointment with Dr. Cox or Dr. Kazmarek at their Saginaw or Hemlock location, call 792-8686. Associates in Eye Care, caring for our patients as we would want to be treated. For almost 20 years, Linex has been the only place to go for quality spray-on bed liner. But did you know they also offer rust-proofing and undercoating?
Their exclusive process will keep your new or used vehicle protected.
The guys at Linex have the only wax-based rust-proofing and military-spec undercoat to ensure years of protection.
In fact, all new vehicles protected will get a lifetime warranty, no yearly touch-ups required.
And because their rust-proofing process is wax-based, you won't have any long-term dripping or mess to clean up later. Rust-proof your car, truck, or SUV.
Linex is located in Wilder Road in Bay City.
Give them a call at 989-671-9820 or call them at their Grand Blanc location, 810-695-9000.
Remember, your new car, truck, or SUV gets a lifetime warranty with no yearly touch-up required.
Again, the number in Bay City is 989-671-9820 or in Grand Blanc, 810-695-9000.
Ask today about the spring special on undercoating.
Refresh your home with a new coat of paint from Menards. Dutch Boy Forever Paint and Primer in One offers exceptional hide and fade resistance for a beautiful color that lasts. Its advanced all-weather formula protects the painted surface from the harshest of weather conditions. Save 11% on Dutch Boy Forever exterior paint. Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Good through May 15th. Savings are mail-in rebate. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
All right, that'll do it for this edition of the Art Lewis Show. As always, we thank you for joining. We thank you for your participation. Agree or disagree. I mean, that makes it interesting. You know, if everybody was a yes man and agreed, we wouldn't have any fun. So it's good to have, you know, various opinions of topics. Anyhow, coming up on Focus, there was a foundation grant from consumers given to Bay County. We're going to find out about that right after the news. The news first, though. CBS will bring you up to date on the national and international scene. And Williams will have a report on the local scene. That's the Great Lakes Bay region and, of course, the state of Michigan. And we'll be back on Focus right after the news and tomorrow with more on the Art Lewis Show. Talk to you then.
From the Stone Specialist Studios, this is WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Facet Wealth.
I'm Steve Kathan. Fears about possible shortages have people lined up to get gas in parts of the Southeast.
I see all these cars parked everywhere, and I was just like, OMG, I have to fill my tank up.
It's all due to the ransomware attack on the big Colonial pipeline. CBS's Harold Barnett says price hikes are looming too.
The places most likely to see price increases later this week include Mississippi, Tennessee, and along the East Coast from Georgia to Delaware.
Georgia's governor is suspending state gas taxes to offset rising prices. Pipeline operators expect a slow return. Patrick DeHaan of GasBuddy.com tells us,
since most stations are starting to run low, it will take
probably 2 to 3 weeks for things to 100% get back to normal. And that certainly could change if motorists continue to deplete the fuel in the system.
Well, CDC panel is expected to give final approval tomorrow for the Pfizer COVID vaccine to be given to children as young as 12. The FDA gave the green light yesterday. Pfizer's Dr. William Gruber on the outlook for younger children.
I think we'll have results in the fall from our children that we're vaccinating in these trials that are 2 years of age and up, and then probably late at the end of the year or the beginning of 2022 for children 6 months to 2 years of age.
The last year of the pandemic kept a lot of children and health checkups. CBS's Deborah Rodriguez says pediatricians report more kids are being brought in for the first time in a while.
They tell the Wall Street Journal some kids have become obese with weight gains of 20 to 30 pounds over the course of a year. Doctors are seeing an increase in accompanying health risks, including high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and demand for appointments is so high, some children's clinics are booked until August.
Overseas, 9 people died when a gunman opened fire at a Russian school. CBS's Imtiaz Tayyab says the suspect is a 19-year-old former student.
We've been seeing footage shared on social media that showed some of these children, again, mostly school uniforms, jumping from windows to escape from this active shooter. Now, according to Russian TV, at least 2 of those students died after falling from a second-floor window.
For 14-year-old Parker Blanchett, surfing off Hawaii brought more than just big waves. He was bitten by a 5-foot shark.
It was less than like a point second. It was pretty darn cool once I got bit.
Well, deep cuts and stitches were what he was left with. A few days in the hospital also to recover. Checking Wall Street right now, the Dow is down 600 points, NASDAQ down 170. This is CBS News.
Facet Wealth, personalized and affordable financial planning for the wealth or asset minimums. Quality financial advice for every stage of your life.
Come on, come in, let the fun begin.
At MichiganLottery.com, the one place you'll find exclusive games like Queen of Diamonds and Michigan Cash Draw, plus Powerball and Mega Millions that can reach $1 billion. Cash out online or at your favorite seat. Support Michigan schools and businesses. Get 100% match on your first deposit up to $100, plus free games. Sign up with promo code RADIO. Knowing your limits is always the best bet.
So play on, Michigan, 'cause we all win.
While we've been staying safe at home, scientists have been on a journey. The destination? Vaccine. This journey began decades ago with research into other coronaviruses. Scientists built from there with months of research and development, cooperation with other experts worldwide, and clinical trials on tens of thousands of volunteers of diverse race, age, and health status. They arrived with the vaccine, and millions in Michigan have already been vaccinated. But the next step is ours. We need to get the first vaccine available to us, keep wearing masks correctly and taking precautions until we reach our destination, freedom from COVID-19 and getting back to the live. Discover the facts for yourself at michigan.gov/COVID vaccine. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance, $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458, 800-481-1458, or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
44 degrees at 11:05. Good morning. I'm Ann Williams. The owner of Saginaw's iconic Bean Bunny sign removed the Michigan Bean Elevator on North Niagara over the weekend, with plans to restore it and eventually put it up for display again. A news release issued Monday said the owner recognizes the sign's importance as a regional icon and has arranged for safe storage while working with local stakeholders to secure its funding and its future. To community leaders are working with the owner through the Saginaw Community Foundation on fundraising and plans to place the sign in the same general area. A fund has been established at the Saginaw Community Foundation to support the Bean Bunny sign's restoration and provide for regular maintenance and secure placement. Donation checks can be made out. Community Foundation referencing the Bean Bunny. While Saginaw City Council continues to meet virtually, the topic of transparency has come up. WSTW's Rick Antonio has more.
After camera disconnection issues led to rule changes at their previous meetings, measures have been heard to amend the council rules of order after a question had been raised. Had been hiding communications during meetings by texting or emailing on personal devices. Several city council members shared that they were not participating in off-the-record communication during meetings and say the newest changes are unneeded.
I would have to say that could be hearsay. Are we going to have residents FOIAing our personal devices?
I don't know what reason anybody would have to believe, unless you're paying far more attention to our behavior than you are the actual meeting.
For the sake of transparency, never during the meeting has one person on this council reached out to me to try to persuade me to lean a certain way on any subject whatsoever.
Following an 8-1 vote on whether council members would be prohibited from using devices during the course of a meeting, including those they use to attend virtual meetings, in any manner that could circumvent the requirements of the Michigan Open Meetings Act, council agreed to revisit the matter at an undetermined later date rather than approve or decline any changes. Rick Antonio, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
WSTW News Time, 11:07.
We could be at the beach.
Or we could be cozier.
Poolside, drinks in hand.
Or we could, well, we won't get to, so what's it matter?
Well, that does mean we do have some money to spend. You want to upgrade our countertops?
And not have any neat vacation pictures to post for everyone?
Are you kidding? With the granite and quartz countertops I'm picturing from Stone Specialists, we're going to want to show it off.
A picture is worth 1,000 words.
Ah, but a stone countertop? That's forever.
I like the way you think.
Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. From imagination to installation, they'll guide you step of the process. Upgrade and increase the beauty and value of your home with Stone Specialists. Now available by appointment to serve you better with 2 locations in Burton and Midland at stonespecialists.net. Stone Specialists will handle your countertop upgrade from start to finish. Stone Specialists, bring the romance of natural stone to your home.
WSTW News Time is 11:08. A 67-year-old Aranac County man has been found competent to stand trial in an attempted murder case. Roger Broadstone is accused of trying to kill state police troopers by booby-trapping his home. On January 20th, troopers visited his residence in the Twining area to ask about a fraud complaint out of Ogemaw County. Though Broadstone would not let them into the house, the troopers returned with a search warrant and found him trying to escape. Police say he also rigged his house to explode with leaking propane and a trigger mechanism. Broadstone is charged with 16 counts, 5 of them attempted murder. He'll be in court today in Aranac County. The Secretary of State is now offering appointment-only service, and that's not sitting well with everyone. Some say it takes too long to get an appointment. Some Republicans tied the Secretary of State's budget to offering.
We're trying to really reshape that whole model, and we need the legislature to work with us on that as opposed to resist this effort to modernize our offices. And so I'm hopeful that we'll find a path forward.
Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson says you can handle many services online, and you can get a next day appointment at 8 or noon when they open up half of the appointments for the next day. Michigan has surpassed a 55% COVID-19 vaccination rate, reaching a milestone that will lead to the automatic easing of in-person work restrictions in 2 weeks. Employers currently must prohibit on-site work if employees' jobs can feasibly be done remotely. The state anticipates lifting the rule on May 24th. The 55% benchmark is the first of 4 under a plan outlined by Governor Gretchen Whitmer less than 2 weeks ago. More than 4.4 million Michiganders ages 16 and older have received at least 1 dose of the vaccine. When you USTW Newsroom, 752-0790. It's 11:10. I'm Ann Williams.
Here's your WSGW weatherology forecast. Increasing clouds today, with areas of rain possible this afternoon. We're high of 54. Areas of frost possible as we dip to a low near 36. High of 63 on Wednesday. Lots of sunshine. Wednesday night mainly clear. Low near 37. High of 68 on Thursday. Lots of sun. Thursday night clear to partly cloudy. Low near 42. High of 69 on Friday. Lots of sun. Friday night low 43. I'm meteorologist Laura Lockwood with the WSGW weatherology forecast. Right now 46.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Focus is brought to you by Northeastern Paint Home Decorating Centers in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply, serving you since 1959.
And welcome back to another edition of Focus here on WSGW. There was a Consumers Foundation grant awarded in Bay County. We're going to find out about that this morning. And we're going to talk to Carolyn Bloodworth. Carolyn, good morning to you.
Well, good morning.
And let me ask who you're with and what you do so everybody knows.
You bet. I am with the Consumers Energy Foundation, based right now and out of my home in Jackson.
Well, I'm out of my home too, so we're both at home. So tell us about this foundation grant and what it's for.
You bet. Well, the Bay Area Community Foundation is one of 4 nonprofits that were part of $500,000 in grants awarded by the Consumers Energy Foundation for our Planet Awards. These are 4 projects that are protecting Michigan's environment.
Now, the foundation grant that went to Bay County has a specific purpose?
It sure does. The Community Foundation applied to have us support the Lake Huron Forever initiative. And basically, they're working hard in the region to produce a project that will help restore and protect Lake Huron, focused on water.
An important body of water for us here in the state of Michigan, for sure. Tell us about the foundation grants. How did they come about? And tell us about the Consumers Foundation, too.
Oh, you bet. Well, the Consumers Energy Foundation was created way back in 1991 to provide charitable support for communities that's served by the company. So that's basically all of Lower Michigan. So it's our philanthropic opportunity to provide support for nonprofits statewide. We have an annual budget of $8 million, and we utilize those funds to support nonprofits doing great work focused on the planet as these environmental grants. People is another priority, helping people to succeed. We want Michiganders to succeed. And prosperity, Michigan's economic prosperity. We want Michigan to succeed.
Is the Consumers Foundation an independent entity from Consumers Energy itself?
Yes, it is. It is a separate nonprofit, and it is supported by the company. It is not supported by ratepayers. So anyone who is a Consumers Energy customer is not funding this foundation. It is funded by the company and our shareholders.
All right. Hang on. I'm going to take a break and come back again. We are talking about this grant that was awarded to Bay County from the Consumers Foundation. Carolyn Bloodworth with us this morning, and we will be back with more after these notes.
Warmer weather is on the way, and Associates in Eye Care want you to remember to wear your sunglasses. Most of us acquire nearly 80% of our lifetime UV exposure before the age of 18, so it's extremely important for children to have sunglasses with UV protection. Ultraviolet rays are also reflected off of water. That's why sunglasses are important in all types of weather. Effects on the eyes that can lead to cataracts and macular degeneration when we're older. To make an appointment with Dr. Cox or Dr. Kazmarek at their Saginaw or Hemlock location, call 792-8686. Associates in Eye Care, caring for our patients as we would want to be treated.
Dan, still loving the new ride? Yeah, the car is amazing. But the loan? Instead of 0 to 60, I went from 0 to broke. Why not refinance with DCECU? They have great rates and great service. Right now, they're even offering a cashback deal for refinancing. If you're not already a member, it's easier than ever to join. Wow, sign me up.
Let DCECU give you the key to savings for a limited time.
popular lender, and you could lower your monthly payment with rates as low as 2.49% APR. Plus, you'll get a 2% cash refund on the amount of your refinance loan. Not a member? You can be. Learn more at dcecu.org/auto-refi. Membership eligibility required. All loans subject to approval. Rates, terms, and conditions are subject to change and may vary based on creditworthiness, qualifications, and collateral conditions. For complete offer details and requirements, visit dcecu.org/auto-refi. Insured by NCUA.
Northeastern Paint, home decorations, and we're more than a custom paint store. We have you need, from carpet to lighting, it's all here, with quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, home decoration center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, Fireplace Doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, home decoration center.
Clay's Cleaning Service has a spotless reputation.
Take care of the windows. Hello, this is Clay.
That his business operations could use.
For next week, I'll just check here. No, absolutely, we will be there tomorrow.
Indeed can help him hire the people he needs.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job, you immediately get your short list of quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job criteria. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
This is the Stone Specialist Studios, 100.5 News Radio WSGW, 790 News Radio WSGW.
And we are back with you here on the Art Lewis Show as we are talking to Carolyn Bloodworth from the Consumers Foundation about a grant given to Bay County from the foundation. And I guess, Carolyn, I'm curious about the foundation. I know you give these community grants. What else does the foundation do? What are the kinds of charitable work that the foundation involved with?
Well, it's all about the grants. The foundation supports grants of all shapes and sizes. We're supporting nonprofits. Maybe a good example is last year during the pandemic, we stepped up in a big way supporting nonprofits across the state who were addressing COVID-related needs. We supported some really good nonprofits in the Bay Area, making sure that we were helping with small business, economic development, basic needs, food and hunger, making sure people had enough meals, and helping community action agencies who were responding to the people who were homebound, a little bit of everything.
How long has the foundation been around?
Since 1991.
Well, that's quite a long time then.
It is. I know you are very well aware. During that time, we created the foundation because the company's charitable giving had always been based on the company's financial success. So there were a lot of peaks and valleys. I know you're very well aware. We had a construction project in Midland going on in the 80s.
I seem to remember that.
Yes, I bet you do. And so during times that weren't so successful, the company wasn't able to do so much in a charitable way. So they created the foundation so we could continuously give and the best that we could on a consistent basis, regardless of how well the company was doing. And I think that's been a very successful adventure to work out that way.
Have you ever lived through anything like the COVID-19 pandemic?
Well, I certainly haven't, and I just celebrated 40 years with the company. So, but we've been through a lot, and it has been unbelievably heartwarming, heartbreaking. Working closely with nonprofits in this past year has really it's been both eye-opening, but at the same time affirming. I have always felt that we have a tremendously strong nonprofit sector here in Michigan, and I have advocated on behalf of nonprofits for most of my career. And the nonprofits that serve our communities, those that serve the Bay Area, Saginaw, Great Lakes Bay Area, they came to work and they stepped up immediately. And so I was just so very proud. I'm thinking about the COVID relief funds that were established. We made sure that we supported those that were established. The Bay Area Community Foundation established a COVID fund and responded immediately. And you think about the Midland flooding and how nonprofits stepped up there. It's just an unbelievable year, but I'm really proud of how everybody was able to respond.
We're quite fortunate. Saginaw, Bay, and Midland all have strong community foundations and great leaders in those foundations.
Yes, they do. They really do. And just a very strong base of donors that have helped to make those foundations have the resources that they need to step up as well. So can't thank them enough. And I also think about the United Way as well. We did a lot with the United Ways last year. I think they were able to almost not reinvent themselves, but demonstrate their value. A lot of people have always questioned the United Way. It's a little bit different than it used to be. Well, if not for the United Ways, I'm not sure what some communities would have done.
Yeah, and this was a very difficult time for them because obviously as people lost their jobs or were furloughed or what have you, the donation base was declining at the same time.
Very, very much so. Very much. I'm very fortunate to work for a company that when we were all sent home immediately, like so many others, but I also have leaders who told me, they were focused on the company and making sure we could continue to deliver our services safely and keep our employees safe. And they basically just let me go and said, tell us what you need. And we're not going to be concerned about the budget that we have. We're going to do what we need, because if there is ever a time for us to be able to meet these needs, it's this year.
And you came out of the company before the foundation, right? You worked for consumers?
Well, I still do work for consumers.
Technically, you still do?
Yes, I still do.
They provide the foundation with the leadership.
Right, exactly.
How do you expect much change as the company changes? I mean, the company is moving toward, we'll call it the electric era, away from fossil fuels, if you will. Is that going to have much impact on what you do on the foundation?
I don't think directly it will have an impact, because we're always very closely aligned, and one of our priorities is the planet and the environment. So I think if anything, there's going to be almost a closer alignment, because we're trying to encourage protection and safeguarding and sustainability for the Michigan environment, and that's exactly what the company's trying to do as well.
So you are an enthused participant, let's put it that way.
Oh, absolutely. Well, remember, 40 years kind of makes me very much enthused. I'm very much engaged.
How long are you going to hang in there?
I'm still having fun, and I have a very rewarding and wonderful job, and that makes it very easy. It doesn't always feel like work.
Yep.
And I am very fortunate to love what I do. I love the people that I work with. I miss them terribly. I've been known to cry a few times on a lot of video calls. I just miss people terribly. But I'm still enjoying what I do. And I think a lot of it is because the great people that I get to work with, great people in the communities. I think about the people in the Bay Area that I get to work with, and I am very much looking forward to being able to get back out and to visit and to be out in the community, come to Bay City. I haven't been to Bay City in a few years, and I already miss being out and seeing people and seeing the great work that's happening.
We're aligned very much, because I do what I do because I still love it. And I work with a lot of the nonprofits in the area, and I understand exactly where you're coming from. Well, listen, we thank you much for spending a little time with us this morning, Carolyn, and let's do it again down the road, because I'm convinced you'll be around.
I look forward to it. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Carolyn Bloodworth from the Consumers Foundation, we thank her for joining us here on WSGW. Take our last break and be back to close out.
Fresh air, fresh RVs, fresh adventures. You'll find it all at General RV in Birch Run. And during the new adventure sale, you can bring home $99 per month. Our experts will help you shop our huge selection of family-friendly trailers, spacious fifth wheels, and luxurious motorhomes. New RVs are rolling in daily. It's the perfect time to begin a new adventure at General RV in Birch Run off I-75. Payment based on 23% down at 4% APR for 120 months, subject to credit approval. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider and are only available if the provider determines a prescription is appropriate. Subscription required. See website for full details and important safety information.
Hey guys, good news. The outrageously expensive little blue pill is now generic, which means you can get the prescription medication to treat ED at affordable prices. And Hims makes it extra affordable. You pay just $30 for a month's supply. And right now, get your first totally free. 4hims.com/radio. That's right. Free. Zero copay, no expensive appointments, no awkward face-to-face conversations to get your prescription. Hims connects you to doctors online who can evaluate you and, if appropriate, prescribe your ED medication. And a pharmacy sends it right to your door. Hims makes it affordable, private, and incredibly easy. Nobody likes dealing with ED. No, thanks to Hims, nobody has to. And that's really good news. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/radio. That's 4hims.com/radio for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/RADIO.
The 4 buttons, like starting an outboard motor, or even treating sleep apnea. If you've tried CPAP but struggle to get a good night's sleep, relief can be as easy as a button with Inspire.
Inspire is a sleep apnea treatment that works inside your body with just the click of a remote. No mask, no hose, just sleep. To learn more, visit InspireSleep.com. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Inspire is not for everyone. Talk to your doctor to see if it's right for you and review important safety information at InspireSleep.com.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach.
My research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
Diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
The Focus Show on WSGW, brought to you by Northeastern Paint Supply in Saginaw and Bay City. For all your home decorating needs, trust Northeastern Paint Supply. It's 1959.
And that'll do it for this edition of Focus. We'll be back tomorrow with more. Stick around now for the Farm Show with Farm Director Terry Henney on WSGW.
There's something new from Honda. It has cruise control, a powerful Honda engine, and a body that's virtually indestructible. It's a revolutionary new mower designed and built by Honda. It's called the HRX and features Honda's patented Versamo system, meaning with the flip of a handle, it can change from mulching to bagging to discharge and anywhere in between with no attachments. Honda's exclusive Xenoid deck will never rust, dent, or corrode. The exclusive micro-cut twin blades result in ultra-fine clippings for better mulching and increased bag capacity when bagging or leaf shredding. Now you get all this along with an unprecedented extended warranty. You've never seen anything like it. The Honda HRX. This changes everything. Get your best deal this weekend at Woolfiles Ace Hardware, 5818 State Street in Saginaw during their Auction Action Weekend. The used equipment auction starts at 10 a.m. Sunday.
Hello, this is Ron from All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. In uncertain times, rely on All A's to keep your vehicle running its best and your family safe. All A's offers vehicle pickup and drop-off, takes payments over the phone, hours key drop to limit face-to-face interaction. We want you to feel safe when doing business with us. That's why All A's only fixes what we say we're going to fix. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair. Just 5 minutes from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
Does All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair have the assurance of their customers?
All A's staff was very courteous and competent. They quickly diagnosed the problem and fixed it. It was done before the promised time.
I appreciated the fact that they consistent with price as quoted.
Every time I've ever had any vehicle out there, you guys have always done an amazing job with it. Thanks.
In fact, more than 98% of All A's customers would refer family and friends. See for yourself at allaysautorepair.net. All A's Automotive and Transmission Repair, just 2.5 miles from Dow Diamond on Poseyville Road.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
Ready for an oil change? Our professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts recommend all the best products to get the job done right, like 5 quarts of Mobile One. On sale now, just $28.95, and we'll make sure you have all the supplies you need, including a filter, funnel, shop towels, drain pan, and more. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A partly sunny good morning to most of you. A little bit of brilliant sunshine in southeast Michigan. Unfortunately, the further north you get, the cloudier it gets. And in some cases, we're seeing a little bit of precipitation in northern Michigan. Very spotty. It actually looks like northern Michigan has the measles on radar. Very interesting right now. As a matter of fact, Big Rapids this hour is reporting snow flurries. It's currently 41 degrees. Light rain up in Alpena, currently 43. Right now at the airport, we have sunny skies, 47. 46 degrees here at Radio Center with partly sunny skies. Midland is looking at partly sunny, 47. Bay City right now is looking at 46 degrees with some sunshine as well. Northwest breeze at 14 for anybody that's working outside. And I had a chance to talk to a few and also was outside for a little bit earlier this morning. It is bitter cold out there right now, so please dress accordingly. Going through the day, the wind speeds are going to continue at least at 14, 15 miles per hour, and we will see some wind gusts this afternoon out of the northwest at right around 20 to 22. 54 is our projected high temperature, and right now it doesn't feel like it's any way possible. We're going to need some sun in order to get that warm. Boy, I just don't know. The further south you get, I think we will make it up to 53, 54. But if it does, the wind certainly is really going to make it feel a whole lot colder than that. Breezy overnight. There were some areas that did report some light frost, but for the most part, it was frost-free. We owe all of this to a high-pressure system, which right now is over Minnesota. So the closer it is getting to us, the breezier it's getting and the chillier it is getting. Right now, the barometer is continuing to rise at 30.26, which means that high is getting closer. Eventually, as we mentioned yesterday, it'll drop down under Michigan. And then as we move into Thursday and into Friday, the tail end of the work week, that high pressure is going to be over the Virginias, northern sections of North Carolina, and that is going to be pulling a lot more warmer air up at us. Unfortunately, for many of you, it's not going to be any kind of precipitation. We're going to be watching a low pressure system as we approach the end of the week that will be developing over Kansas. We'll keep our eye on it. If there is going to be the possibility of any precipitation, it would come from that and more or less Sunday. Later Sunday afternoon and Sunday night is the best chance of seeing any precipitation out of that particular system. But all the way through this period, we're looking at the coldest temperatures, really the coldest nighttime temperature tonight. And then we're going to begin to see a little rise in these temperatures. Now, tomorrow night, we're looking for a low of about 36, 37 degrees, which for the most part, okay, that's all right. The thing that we're concerned about, and we're just going to have to watch, is we're looking for a pretty calm evening tomorrow night. So along with that 36, 37 degrees, no breeze, low-lying areas could very possibly see a pretty good chance of some frost and freezing temperatures again tomorrow night. But for the vast majority of us, we're not looking for any frost for tomorrow night. And then Thursday, we're going to be moving it into the 60s. We should be at least 65, if not warmer during the day, 42, 43 at night with clear skies. Then on Friday, 62, 63 degrees for a high, looking for a low of about 43. Then on Saturday and Sunday and Monday, the low 70s all the way through that period with nighttime temperatures 46 to 49 degrees again over that period of time. Long range outlook to take us through the 24th of the month, above average on the temperatures, average as far as the moisture goes. So far, the first 10 days of May, we've been looking at 2 above average days, 7 below average days, and 1 pretty much right on the mark as far as normal high and normal low, which is right now 66 in the afternoon and 45 at night. Record high in this state, 88, set back in 1922. The record low, 24. That was set in 1903. And a year ago, we froze. 52 was our high. 32 was our low a year ago today. Sun will set this evening at 8:50, rise tomorrow morning at 6:15. And again, all of the precipitation right along the Gulf Coast states, that blocking mechanism is keeping it all down there, anywhere from the Gulf Coast of Texas all the way to northern Florida. Heavy rains, flooding conditions, major rainfall in that part of the country. They're having all sorts of issues down there as far as flooding is concerned. Soil temperatures at the 2-inch level right now. Richville is at 48. Fairgrove 49, Munger at 50, Pigeon over in the Thumb is 47, Sandusky 47, Kindy at 48, again over in Michigan's Thumb. A little bit closer, we're looking at Freeland 50, Linwood 49, Ithaca at 49, McBain at 44, Endrican at 50. Again, this is the average between the high and the low at the 2-inch level. And down at the horticultural station at Michigan State, 51 degrees. More on the weather as we go through the broadcast. That'll be in our conversation. Rick Hollister with the Andersons is standing by. Unbelievable what the markets are doing today. Yeah. I keep saying that, but it's true every day. These markets are defying the laws of gravity. We'll talk to Rick in just a moment, but before we do that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
Nutrient Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrient Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrientagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrient Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Wiki Crop Insurance. You know, this year, last year, this fall, the headlines in ag are always about the markets and the weather. Don't let Mother Nature give you sleepless nights and ruin your life. Wiki Crop Insurance of Chesaning is ready to secure your future and let you sleep well. Rest easy, knowing that Kyle Byron at Wiki Crop Insurance has you covered. You can call him toll-free at 888-845-7916 or go online at wikicrop.com. Fast, reliable, and thorough. Wiki Crop Insurance, you can depend on them. We say good morning to Rick Hollister over at the Andersons. Rick, sometimes you're just speechless. We talked before. I punched it up on the monitor here, and I'm looking at plus 27, plus 32, plus 21, plus 10. And then the mercantile exchange is going just the opposite direction.
Yeah, we need more than a lap belt for this roller coaster. We need the full body harness.
Oh, man.
And some whiplash protection besides. Boy, corn up 16 after being down 20 yesterday. But if you look at the new crop, corn was down 26 yesterday and back up 4 at the moment. Beans just down a couple yesterday on the close, up 31 today. Wheat down hard yesterday, down 31, back up 9 at the moment on wheat. But Terry, just an hour ago, we're up 19 to 20. So a real fast trade today. People trying to reposition, traders repositioning going into tomorrow's. Really, it's our first new crop supply and demand, full-blown supply and demand workup from the USDA, which will project our actual, what they think we'll have our ending stocks for the new crop. So we're looking for ending stocks for this year to be just slightly less than last month. So if there's any big changes, we're not looking for big changes, but so in the average trade guess, so big changes would make the market still move here. But boy, real volatility going into our tomorrow report. So
what do you got on the board right now in Hemlock?
At the moment, old crop corn is at 724, new crop corn 570. That's for fall delivery. Old crop soybeans at 1630. New crop beans are 1380. Red wheat, one price for old or new for May, June, or July delivery, 696. White wheat, same way at 706.
All righty. So again, that report, when does that come out? About noon tomorrow?
Right at noon, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Well,
yes, sir.
Got a funny feeling that they think we're not exactly going to have much of a surplus right now.
Well, certainly a lot less than corn, 1.2, 1.3 billion. Still enough corn to go around this year if we don't sell much more. But so far less than what we're forecasting. A year ago, we were talking about 3 billion potential, and now we're 1.3. So it's just a huge, dramatic change from where we were, a year ago, 8, 9, 10 months ago. Terry, it's a big change.
I guess. Rick, you take care. Have a good one.
All right, you too.
All righty. A little bit more as far as what the markets are doing. Over to Oppenheimer we go with Doug Klein. The market report brought to you by Bader & Sons Company, a John Deere dealership with 10 stores from Southeast Michigan to the Bridge. The Bader family proud to support farmers and growers through this and other agricultural and lawn and gardening efforts. To learn more, go to greentractors.com. And by the folks at Steiner Tractor Parts, new parts for old tractors, that's what you get. You want to make that thing look really sharp this coming summer? Want to take it to a show or two? I think you're going to be able to. Or you just simply want it to work, to do a job for you. New parts for old tractors, they've got it. 800-234-3280 or go to the website, steinertractor.com. Morning, Doug.
Good morning.
Well, you left, you came back, and not much has changed, has it?
No, but it seems to me that if they can't get that gasoline to the East Coast, to those shutdown pipelines, bring her here. We'll pay you, 80 cents on the dollar for it.
Well, sure.
We'll take a break, a little bargain. We like bargain.
We like surplus, don't we?
And then when we need to sell it to them, when we can get it there, we'll charge them,
Hey, whatever it takes,
Make a deal with you. Jeez. Well, the Canadian dollar continues to be very strong. That's one thing that's definitely affecting grains. That's a big thing between us. So the U.S. dollar doesn't even get you $1.21 at the border. That's about 6% off from 3-4 weeks ago. So that's a big thing. And the July soybeans hit a new high today. So they're really not making any more of them here. So that's a thing. Here's your numbers. Let's see, July corn is 727.5, up 15 3/4. The December corn 613 1/4, up 4 cents. July soybeans 1619 1/4, up 31 3/4. November soybeans 1430 1/2, up 16 1/4. July wheat 738 1/4, up 8 3/4, and December wheat 740 3/4, up 6 cents. Crude oil holding up pretty good, 65.11, that's up 18 cents. Heating oil 202.78, that's up 1.2 cents. Gasoline 213 1/4, that is down 0.09 of a penny. Natural gas 298, that's up 0.2 of a penny. Canadian dollar, U.S. dollar gets you 120.93 at the border, that's down 4 ticks. The yen is at 108.51, that's down 26 ticks. The euro's at 121.68. That's getting hot. That's up 40 ticks. And the dollar's at 90.03. That's down 17 ticks. Gold's at 1832.60, down $5. Silver's at 27.57. That's up 8.5 cents. Platinum's at 1235.70. That's down 29.80.
All right.
I woke up.
I guess. Talk to you later.
All right. See ya.
Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Joining me right now, I've got Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Do the trees need earmuffs right now, Jerry?
Oh, my gosh, Terry. Yeah, everything is just held up. We applied some herbicide, and it's just taking forever to kick in. Everything is just cold and lethargic. But one of the things, Terry, I've been seeing is we're back to this age-old thing. Set your mowers as high as you can stand it. A lot of people are scalping their lawns, although the lawns aren't growing that much right yet because it's so cold. You want to set that mower up as high as you can. Even this time of year when grass is growing great, the taller you set your grass, the better it's going to be, the greener it will be. Everything is better when you mow the turf at a high level. So scalping the lawn does no good. It just causes problems. So we're going to start seeing more issues, more immediate in the summer. But right now, let it grow. It's happy. We get some heat, it'll start growing, and then you don't have to mow as often when you mow high.
Yeah, there you go.
Mow it high, Jerry.
All right, Jerry. We'll talk to you. Jerry Samolsky, Bay Landscaping and Garden Center in Essexville. Chuck Lipstrew joins us in a moment.
First, we had a toilet paper shortage. Then it was a sanitizer shortage. And now a chip shortage. Don't worry, not potato chips. We're talking computer chips. I'm Steve Cook from Cook Chevrolet Buick and Vassar. Thanks to this latest shortage, new car and truck inventories are absolutely depleted for every car company across the entire country. So at the Cook GM Superstore in Vassar, at any point in time, we have a few Silverado pickups, Blazers, Equinoxes, and Traversas in stock. And in the event we don't have exactly what you need, we can tell you details about every Chevy or Buick that will be arriving in the next several weeks. And most importantly, we'll let you reserve the vehicle of your choice. Do you have a lease coming due in the next several months? What are you going to do? Why not contact a Cook staff member and lock in a vehicle? Here are this month's great zero-down offers. Equinoxes from $208, Blazers $249, and Silverados from $274. That's the Cook GM Superstore, M15 top of the hill in Vassar.
Payments based on 36-month GM employee and family lease, 10,000 miles per year, and includes all rebates. Chevy, find new roads.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present the future. Sevia fungicide from BASF.
It looks like a liquid.
Well, it is. Does it have any buttons or screens? It's a fungicide.
What's the battery life?
No batteries. But it is built from the ground up to navigate the ever-changing regulatory landscape and provides longer-lasting residual control. Experience the future with Sevia fungicide. Always read and follow label directions.
I'm former U.S. Counterterrorism Officer Drew Berquist. In a one-party controlled country whose policies continue to move further to the left, it's hard to find a group willing to stand up for the right. That's why we created Mammoth Nation. We're standing strong for all Americans. Mammoth Nation is America's conservative discount club. As a member, you get great discounts, massive savings on travel, shopping, wireless, sporting goods, even prescriptions. Membership supports conservative businesses and the causes that you care about, like the Wounded Blue. For every total wellness plan purchased, Mammoth Nation will donate a plan to a police officer in need. This provides critical support to our law enforcement community. It's just one of the things that makes Mammoth Nation so great. And it's so affordable. If you join now, you get a 30% discount on a lifetime membership. Normally $299. This month, just $199, which pays for itself in just a few purchases, maybe just one. So go to mammothnation.com and become a lifetime member today.
Along with me, Chuck Lipstrew with the Michigan Agribusiness Association. Chuck, what is on the docket today?
All kinds of things, Terry. One, we're waiting for it to warm up. Two, we saw yesterday the governor lifted or announced that we're going to lift restrictions on office work, which for our agribusiness members and for anybody working in an office out there is meaningful. We reached that 55% of people vaccinated that gets people back into the office, which here at the end of May, which is good news. Continue to promote vaccines across countryside. And I think everybody's heard us say that before. I'll tell you, the other thing I want to say today is a quick congratulations to our Dean of the Michigan State University College of Ag and Natural Resources, Ron Hendrick. Folks might have read he has been announced as the new leader of the Ag College at Texas Tech University and will be leaving our state July 1st. He's been a great partner for Michigan agriculture, and we saw that Dr. Kelly Millenbaugh has been recommended to step in as interim dean. So anybody with that MSU connection, that's pretty big news for the College of Ag and Natural Resources. I think it was really well handled in terms of the announcement. We're losing a great leader in Ron Hendrick. But Dr. Millenbaugh is fantastic as well. So we certainly press on there. And if folks have not seen that, I just wanted to take that opportunity, Terry, and also say thank you to Dr. Hendrick for a great 5 years in charge of the college. Yeah,
our loss is definitely going to be their gain. That's for sure.
Indeed.
All righty. Chuck, take care. Have a great day. All righty.
Thanks, sir.
You betcha. Along with me right now, Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. Craig, a lot of folks doing some spraying out there right now.
Yes, Terry, there's a lot of activity going on in regards to spraying and fertilizing and everything involving chemicals and stuff. And hopefully the folks are having a discussion with their agent about their pollution coverage from the farm policy. There's a couple different pieces to it. One would be like overspray and drift. The other piece would be if the machine were involved in an accident on the road and leak into a ditch or a tank on the farm gets punctured. Oftentimes those limits they're very different from each other and they tend to be very small from the policy. So hopefully folks are having that discussion and talking about that and picking the right coverage for their operation.
So we should be looking at pollution control. Is that the terminology?
Yes, it starts with pollution, and then there's a couple other subsets underneath it. One of them, again, would be the overspray or drift, and then sometimes it's called pollutant cleanup, depending on the insurance company you're dealing with. That's another piece of it.
So that's what you should be asking for then. Craig, you take care. Have a great day, okay?
Thanks, Terry. You too.
You betcha. We'll be right back with Steve Anderson.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center. We're more than a custom paint store. We have everything you need. From carpet to lighting, it's all here. With quality and satisfaction guaranteed. Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Since 1959, count them, that's 62 years, Northeastern Paint Supply has been serving the Tri-Cities. We have the most knowledgeable staff in the area, offering you the highest quality products in the industry. Benjamin Moore Paints, Hunter Douglas Blinds, Quazell and Kitchener Lighting, Flooring from Flooring America, fireplace doors, gas logs, and custom-made rugs. It's all here under one roof. Northeastern Paint Supply, Saginaw and Bay City.
Northeastern Paint, Home Decoration Center.
Along with me, Steve Anderson from Baird & Company. Steve, what's going on in New York right now?
Well, they're still a little bit concerned and fearful of the whole inflation and oil shortage and everything that they can dream of. So the Dow Jones Industrial Average right now is down 422 points, putting it at 34,320 on volume of 486 million shares. The NASDAQ is down 43 at 13,358. Volume is 524 million shares. Locally, we've got Caterpillar 239.50 down 311, Deere 382.23 down 920, CMS 63.80 down 111, Dow 68.21 down 52, DuPont 82.31 up 63, Corteva 46.89 down a dime. GM is 55.77 down 164. Trinzio is 66.59 up 86. Walmart 139.15 down 156. Home Depot 330.75 down 10.37. Huntington Banks is 15.88 up 12. TCF 47.36 up 33, and AT&T is down 40 cents at 32.24.
All righty.
What we look like today.
Stephen, thank you.
You're very, very welcome. You have a great day.
I will. You too. Steve Anderson over at Baird & Company. Farm Service been brought to you today by the folks at Quality Roasting of Reese, purchasing local soybeans, processing local beans, and marketing local Exceller meal, which is a high bypass soybean meal for your dairy herd since 1991. Quality Roasting of Reese offering competitive, consistent prices for your soybeans. So call them for a quote today. Back at 12:30 with an update. Now we join radio stations all across the country by playing our national anthem.